Zaslow, why are you laughing right in Greg Cote's face as he sits down breathless because he has circumnavigated traffic and arrived here like 20 seconds before we started and starts with a cough and
more of a throat clearing.
And a clearing of his throat into the microphone. Why are you laughing in his face?
Well, normally you would think that it's rude to laugh in someone's face. It's very dismissive. It's rude.
Yes, thank you.
But hold on with the thank you. Sometimes it's deserved. Sometimes it's deserved. I mean, Greg, we do a shadow show every day. You don't know that?
Yeah, I'm in once or twice a week.
But those once or twice a week, we always do shadow show, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can't. Okay, this is directed not at you. I'm not sure where you live. I know where Dan lives, okay, and I know where he does his show.
It's a veiled threat.
All right, listen here. If you build a shack next to a railroad track, you can't complain about the lonesome whistle, okay? Mm-hmm. You build a studio in downtown Miami, the worst traffic city in America, and expect people to drive here through rush hour. And, you can't complain about the lonesome whistle.
Doesn't rush hour start at 8 a.m.?
No, it's gotten earlier.
Oh, no. At 6:30 in the morning at this point.
I know traffic is thick, but I would not even call that rush hour. That's not our rush hour.
Our rush hour in Miami, it's like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Okay,
It's
none of this is the reason that Zaslow was laughing, okay? And none of this, as he gets off his lonesome whistle line, has anything to do with the specifics of why Zaslow was laughing. This is why Zaslow was laughing. Greg comes in here and he says, doesn't the show start at 9? And I'm like, we've been starting. This is the sentence that made Zaslow laugh. We've been starting at 8:55 for over a year.
Yeah. Who keeps track of that minutia?
It's true.
Radio people.
I don't have the bandwidth for all the details. I don't want to belabor it. I need a staff.
No.
But, we're doing the best we can. Pedaling as fast as we can on a small one-man bike.
Again, with a weird saying.
Just that kind of thing,
He's so good at this that he doesn't have to worry about what time things start.
Yeah.
He'll do it on his own time. He'll do it his own way, and the rest of us will get used to it. There will never be any consequences, except that occasionally he'll get rage because he's 0-4 in all of his competitions around here.
Yeah, okay. And there will be no more of those.
In Greg's defense, I mean, look, Greg, you can't control the fact that normally it takes you 45 minutes to an hour to get here, and on a given day, it might take 2.5 hours to get here because of other people's driving, not your own.
Jeremy is, if I could say more than 100%, I would. Although that's an annoyance of mine when people say, I gave 110%. No, you didn't.
You're celebrating Jeremy, and I think that Jeremy was so eager to talk that he didn't hear the news that you had right before he spoke, which is you said you're not doing any more competitions. You announced publicly that you're out on doing any competitions here because you're winless.
No, not because I'm winless, because I don't think that it's a fair playing field. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned this on my podcast, which came out yesterday. I think it's a predetermined result. Okay, I don't think
it's not.
I don't think there was any chance
I
had
no
to win
evidence
that
of this.
It's not
no,
true.
I don't have any evidence.
It's not true.
I was instructed to vote against you, and I went against that trend because they said we need to make sure that this is rigged so Greg loses on his birthday.
Nobody
so
said
extra
that.
Bad.
No one said that.
Okay,
It was implied.
My lawyer will depose Billy in case a lawsuit is brought. But no, I mean, everybody knows that. There's a preconceived thing. All right, it was Greg's birthday.
It's not true.
It was Greg's birthday that day. Everybody figures they're going to let Greg win. And that was the zig, and you guys zagged, and everybody knew it.
Have you ever thought about leaving your house earlier in the morning?
No, because I leave my house damn early as it is. I leave my house between 7 and 7:15. Ridiculous.
Football is back, Jack. Oh my, we've waited for so long. We're so damn excited that we put it in a song. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. Keep your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. you throw a prayer. When your team is primed and on the hunt, it's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control, and we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs, give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
Jeff Conine finally texted you back. Jeff Conine got back to you. We wanted to talk to him about whether or not he's got the strongest hands in the history of handshakes. And it took us 2 or 3 days to reach him, FaceTime, an assortment of things. But we finally have closure on this. Chris, what did we find out about Jeff Conine's availability or lack of availability?
On Friday, sent him a Zoom link with a text, hey, we'd love you to pop on right here. That just kind of went unanswered. And so right after the show, I'm like, all right, hey, you can respond just via text. Here's a couple questions. Did you enjoy your time with us? And do you remember how strong Mike Ryan's handshake was? So I have answers to both of those questions.
Okay.
First question, did you enjoy your time with us? He wrote, yes. There you go. I feel like that's a win for us.
What enthusiasm!
You guys thought he did not enjoy the
I would
time
say he
with
was a
you.
tough book to read.
Yeah.
I don't agree, and maybe that's because I was sitting in the room here with Conine.
Whoa.
I thought he enjoyed his time
Okay.
here. Maybe it came across different to you
Are you a
guys.
teacher's pet? Like, what's your role here exactly? Just agree with everything that Dan says, shit all over
Yo,
Greg.
don't even
say,
start with me.
Oh, wow.
Don't even start
We
with
had
me.
such a great time
It's
in this
too
room.
early
Jeff
for this
Conine's
shit.
not listening to you. He
We're
doesn't care
2
if you
minutes
think
into
he
the
had fun or
show.
not.
It's too early for you to be pulling this shit.
No, it really isn't. I agree with Billy. I mean, obviously you voted. You were the deciding.
He got
vote
the memo.
against me.
The soup,
for
or back to the
Fall
soup.
in
Okay.
line, yeah.
Are you officially saying you're out on competitions? You're forever going to be winless around here in competitions because you're quitting the competitions because you think they're rigged, when I'm telling you they're not rigged. When I was singing you happy birthday, it's because I thought Zaslow was going to give you the gift of winning a competition that I didn't think you should win because Mike decided to make my favorite soup, and I'm sorry. He tilted the scales in his favor by making what is my favorite soup. I'd argue that the Thai coconut soup is the greatest of all the soups.
Yeah.
I'd argue that it's better than all of them.
Did you taste the coconut?
Here
at
we
all?
go again with the coconut.
No, I was just curious.
But you're officially saying you're out on all competitions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no question about it.
We'll find one for you to do against Zaz.
I doubt it.
What is it that you're agreeing with Billy on, or are you just lining up against Zaslow? And
No, I'm not. Zaslow's role on the show is to line up against me. I get that.
that's not true.
Nobody's told me that.
That's not
Okay,
true.
All right. You all are painting me as somebody who's paranoid now. Okay, yeah, I'm making everything up. Okay.
All right, the rest of this text. So I also wrote, do you remember how strong Mike Ryan's handshake was? His response, who is Mike Ryan? He followed up, I don't remember anyone having a memorable handshake.
Classic Jim Ortega.
Oh,
I told Mike this, and his response was, I don't remember his either.
okay. All right. I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of that. A number of things that I wish to talk about from last night, okay? Because a lot of people are talking about Tom Brady wearing a headset. And that's the most disastrous game Geno Smith's ever had. It's been 10 years since any quarterback had a game where they tried to throw down the field that much and didn't complete anything at all. That Chargers defense is quantifiably good. Obviously, Khalil Mack being hurt doesn't help anybody, but that defense is the average pass attempt against that defense is 3.2 yards. It's the best in the league by miles. And Zaslow, with cream cheese on his face, walked in here this morning and was willing to make a proclamation.
I think Jim Harbaugh is an all-time great coach. I'm just looking at his resume. You see what he did obviously at Michigan, where they won a national championship, and by the end of his time there, they were always beating Ohio State. Go back before that, he took over a 49ers team that was garbage, and I think it was by his second year with San Francisco. He had Alex Smith in the NFC Championship. The next year, he had Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl, and then he's in Los Angeles now with the Chargers, and they were whatever last year, and now they look like they're going to win the AFC West this year. They are now part of it is Chiefs aren't as good, but the Chargers are going to be a really good team, and it's only his second year there. Literally everywhere he goes, not only does he turn the teams around, he turns them around really quick.
Put it on the poll, please. Is Jim Harbaugh already an all-time great coach? I admire the choice that he made in choosing that as his landing spot when he had choices, because the smartest choice to make is get the young quarterback. Make sure that at that position you're solid. But the reason they won last night is not because of the quarterback. The reason they won last night is because their defense is so good. Let's put that game off to the side for a second, though, because we'll talk about the Brady elements of that in a moment. But now that Brady's no longer on the field, he at one time was consensus, don't leave him any time. If you leave him any time, you're going to lose the game. He's going to get down the field. Then he was replaced by Mahomes. Don't leave him any time. I'm wondering how close Baker Mayfield's now creeping into the conversation, and I want to examine for a second. Just this show's history talking about Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield got swallowed by Brown's expectations. He decided to play hurt when they had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. He was playing while hurt. He ended his career in Cleveland, and nearly because he was playing while hurt, ended his career in general. If he does not have that Monday night game, meaningless for the Rams, for Sean McVay, I believe that Baker Mayfield never gets to start again. And now I'm willing to make the argument that at the end of games, he's one of the top 5 guys I fear that he's going to do what Tua couldn't against the Patriots, that he is going to figure out a way on 4th and 10 when they're blitzing a corner and there's no room on the field. And this is the other thing from last night's game that I found so interesting. The Bucs were primed to get beaten because their tackles were out and those pass rushers are good. Mike Evans was shut down. I know it said 5 catches for 50 yards, but when you can take Stingley, put him on Mike Evans, and just know he's not going to get down the field, you've shut down one of the great receivers, a Hall of Famer of all time. Baker did not have a lot of help. In that game, what happened is first 4 drives, all scores by both teams. Then nothing happens the rest of the game. Nothing until the last 5 minutes. And Houston does the things that at home win a game. And you got 4th and 10 in the opposing stadium, and Baker Mayfield pulls it out. So I want to ask the group, make the list for me. Now that the Chiefs are 0-2, I still think Mahomes is on there, and I still feel, obviously, anytime I'm on defense, I fear Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But at the end of games, I don't fear them in an appreciably larger way than Baker's going to figure out how to do something here. He's done it the first 2 weeks of the season, and he routinely does it. Like, I obviously, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are better quarterbacks, but I'm talking about a thing here that Tua doesn't have locally that Baker Mayfield clearly has. He can win games late when you need your quarterback to be doing that.
I've got a top 5 list that I wrote down of guys that are that exact thing that you fear in the last couple of minutes of the game to make plays to win you the ball game. You guys ready?
Give me just a second here to just get off some stats here, because since 2023, this is a real stat. Give me the stat of the day music here, because I believe that this is an excellent stat for stat of the day now that Patrick Mahomes is a dink and dunk quarterback.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day.
There's no way the Buccaneers should have won that game. Like, honest to God, you're on the road. The Texans are trying to avoid 0-2, And what I'm telling you, your main receivers getting shut down and your backup tackles are facing that pass rush. Here's the stat of the day. Games with 320-plus passing yards since 2023. Patrick Mahomes, 3. Jake Browning, 3. Who do you fear when I think off the top of your head, if I take Brady and Mahomes off the board, who's the guy now that you're saying don't leave him time late in the game?
Probably Josh Allen.
Yeah, I would have said Josh Allen. And I don't have the comparative stats. I do know that Baker Mayfield, since 2023, has had more fourth quarter and overtime touchdowns than any quarterback. And also, this guy has just reinvented himself. I mean, Baker Mayfield was a laughingstock punchline, 3-4 years ago? He hasn't reinvented himself to the point now you hear that name and you think, wow, that's a really good quarterback who wins, who knows how to win a game that's teetering.
That stat of the day presented by Amazon Prime Video. Thursday Night Football is on. The Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video.
When did 7 p.m. start for Amazon? Is that new, or have they always been doing that? When I saw the 7 p.m. start time,
that's coverage.
That's the
starts,
broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's getting you ready for the game.
They have a damn good one there, too.
Has Baker Mayfield reinvented himself, or is it just, hey, remember, it used to take quarterbacks a few years to be able to play at this level?
For me, he has. And Sam Darnold has to a lesser extent, but I would put those two in the same category. They were seen as draft busts a couple of years in. And
Baker Mayfield was running scout team in Carolina.
Yeah.
Last night was so infuriating to watch that game. You have Baker, who was available for everyone to have a couple years ago, and I'm sitting here with Tua. You see the Texans fans booing C.J. Stroud on a couple drives. I'm like, these ingrates. You don't know how lucky you have it.
Do I have it correct? Is this an accurate appraisal, what I'm about to say? Baker Mayfield was on a one-year prove-it deal because the Bucs thought Kyle Trask was going to be their quarterback. Do I have that wrong?
I think when Brady retired, the initial thought was Trask could be the guy.
No, he was brought in to compete that first year
but
with the Bucs.
It was a one-year prove-it deal. Trask wasn't drafted that high, but was Trask not viewed as somebody?
I think you're right.
At the time, people were saying, well, Baker will keep it warm for Trask, but this is not going to be Baker Mayfield's team. I really think that Baker Mayfield, I can't believe what I'm saying, that Baker Mayfield was this far from being a backup quarterback to now he has gone right to the top of the list of the first two games this season, he's led game-winning drives, and this is per ESPN here. The 2025 Bucs are the first team since the merger to score game-winning touchdowns in the final minute of their first two games.
Well, and how about this? Baker Mayfield is the second quarterback in the last 30 years to lead back-to-back under 2-minute drives to win the game in the last 30 years. Second quarterback.
Am I overreacting when I say, I know it's recent, it's the first two games of the season, so obviously it's noticeable. Daniel Jones is suddenly getting MVP talk because it's the first two games of the season.
By whom? Who's getting MVP? By the way, not to call it people out in our industry, but I saw a couple of weeks ago.
Speak their names, man.
No, I don't want to say their names. I saw a very prominent show where a guy kicks field goals and kicks and gives money away.
He was a punter.
No, I'm saying other people kick field goals. He gives money away. They had a topic on the show saying, is Daniel Jones the MVP? 2 weeks ago. I didn't like that.
I think
Who do you think on College Game Day is watching you?
No,
and stealing
nobody.
your takes just out of curiosity.
Nobody
Because
had
I know in the past you've accused Mina Kimes of doing such.
That
So
is
who
not
on
true.
College Game Day
That's
is sitting
falsehoods.
around taking notes of your top
Could be a
five
producer
and stealing your
feeding
takes?
talent.
Could be.
All of a sudden, PM has a topic. I have the picture of it.
Pat McAfee is watching you to take your
I don't say
takes.
him. Somebody could be.
Pat McAfee has been saying since the beginning of the season that the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. He's obviously
Every season.
in the tank for the Colts. Do you want to do your top 5 list now? Do we have
Yes.
OLIs? These are the guys you trust the most, quarterbacks you trust the most at the end of a game.
Yes.
All right. Any OLIs?
Yes, 101. Not my official top 5, but thank you, Chris, for bringing it up. Really quickly, number OLI, Jaden Daniels.
I think all of us should probably, if we're going to be analyzing football, also point out already 2 weeks into the season, what is it? 20% of the starting quarterbacks are hurt.
Yeah.
Is it 20%?
I saw the graphic. It was like 8 guys. I was like, wait, when did that guy get hurt?
It's 2 games into the season, and 5 quarterbacks, starters are out.
Yeah, and one of them's not Tua.
That is true. That's an upset. Number 5, Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that's true.
Guy like in the grizzled veteran, got the gray hair going.
That is a great
lasers
one.
all over the place. Number 4, Baker Mayfield.
I'd put Stafford ahead of Mayfield, but
you put Stafford ahead of Mayfield.
You just put Mayfield ahead of Brady.
No. I did not do that. I put him at the top.
You put Mayfield ahead of Brady?
It was unbelievable.
You said the top.
You said of all-time quarterbacks, he's better than both Tom Brady
Mayfield
and Patrick Mahomes. It was amazing.
You did kind of wonder whether Mahomes was still in there. I was like, of course he's still in there.
He wasn't in there the first 2 weeks of the season. I wasn't expecting him to do shit at the end of games. Were you? Like, were you? Everyone's mad at the Eagles for being 2-0 because of the way they're 2-0. Like, look, that league, everything that's happened on defense in that league that makes all of these quarterbacks go for 150 yards, the defenses have gotten so suffocating that they have ruined the entertainment value of Patrick Mahomes. Ruined it. It's not partially ruined. It's ruined. Like, I'm watching a quarterback who looks like all the other quarterbacks when all I heard the last 3 seasons was a complete hyperventilation from the broadcast media that felt like they were watching something that was more aesthetically pleasing than anything else in the league.
But is it his fault? I mean, Isaiah Likely is out. Or not Isaiah. Xavier Worthy is out. Travis Kelce can't catch. Like, it's not Patrick Mahomes' fault.
Rashee Rice is suspended the first 6 games.
I mean, he's missing a lot of weapons.
Yes, that's true. And I saw him in a Super Bowl get throttled. Not this last one, the other one against Tampa when he doesn't have his offensive line. Agreed on all counts.
And Travis Kelce looks spent, too. He looks like he's more worried about his podcast than he is catching football.
But he is a dink and dunk quarterback. And I don't believe that if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson had, you mentioned Likely's out, I can have them lose guys, and they will have a variety of game. They would have a versatility required in today's game that might not make them look, again, as unaesthetically pleasing as what I'm watching from the Chiefs offense, when what I was used to, guys, you remember, you never bet against the Chiefs, no matter what the point spread was, and you assumed every game that they were going over 30 points. That team's dead. Like, that team no longer exists. The team that
it's been dead for a while. I mean, it's been dead for like 3 years.
He threw a dime
3
down
years.
the field,
They've been
like
a Super Bowl every year.
touchdown
Doesn't
pass.
matter.
How's it been dead for 3
Yeah,
years?
No, Dan's 100% right.
They almost three-peated last
That
season.
doesn't matter, but they did it in a different way. They changed the offense completely. They got rid of Tyreek Hill. They went to a dink and dunk. They had 2 high safeties. They couldn't go deep. That was the whole point.
They got to the Super Bowl last year.
3 years in a row, they won 2 out of 3.
They changed the offense completely.
Spagnola would like a word.
This is so much worse than Stugotz's take.
What is worse about it?
Dan, these guys don't know ball. I just realized that. These guys don't know ball.
You're watching one side of the field if you think the Chiefs aren't
McAfee's
good.
going to laugh at us when he's watching to steal your takes later.
You guys are, again, listening poorly. It's not surprising. Those ears on the side of your head are usually just ornaments. I did not say anything about the defense. I said their offense is no longer fun to watch. That's not up for debate. Like, that's not...
You said the Chiefs are done.
Quote, that team is dead.
That's
a direct quote.
The offense is unaesthetically pleasing. They've ruined what it used to be to watch Patrick Mahomes play football.
Agreed, but let's also agree it's not Patrick Mahomes' fault. He does not have a great running game. He does not have anywhere near an elite receiver. Travis Kelce looks old all of a sudden. I don't blame Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's lost anything. I think his surrounding talent has hit a crater.
The average yard per attempt on what Patrick Mahomes is doing for whatever the reasons are, because I remember when he had Tyreek Hill 50 yards downfield and Travis Kelce was Gronk, and back then when he had that, everyone was telling me how great Mahomes was with or without them. They won a championship after Tyreek Hill left, but the offense is no longer a pleasure to watch. No one here is disagreeing with this, correct? It's not a pleasure to watch that offense. You can blame everybody but Patrick Mahomes. We know he's a great quarterback. That's not up for dispute. We know that he's a great quarterback.
I agree with you, but I also don't write off the Chiefs at 0-2. for reasons that you can and you do write off the Dolphins at 0-2, I think it's very, very premature to write off Mahomes and the Chiefs at 0-2.
Let me ask you something. When the Dolphins lose on Thursday night to drop to 0-3. All right, man. When the Dolphins lose on Thursday night to fall to 0-3, does Tyreek Hill then also play for the Chiefs Sunday night?
Is that allowed?
Whoa.
I don't think that's allowed.
Why not?
I don't think it's allowed.
You play twice in 1 week?
I don't think you can play.
You can.
Why wouldn't that be allowed?
You guys think he could play 2 days, 3 days later? You think 4 days later?
There's players that have been traded that already missed the new team's bye week, so they have an extra game every season.
Mikal Bridges played 83 games a couple years ago in the NBA. Everyone else played 82.
You are right that Patrick Mahomes has an assortment of injuries around him. He has had 11 starting left tackles since becoming the Chiefs starter. The only other player with more is Baker Mayfield, but he's played on 4 different teams.
He's also number 4. Number 3 on the list, Josh Allen.
Boy, who's ahead of him?
Wow, 2 better than that.
2 better than that. Thank you. This is the list of guys that you fear in the last 2 minutes of the game to win the game. Number 2, Joe Burrow. Thank you.
Chris is sleeping.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what he's doing.
Happening.
We do Hayes for the top 5.
It's a dramatic pause.
What, Billy? Go ahead.
Quarterbacks that will win the game?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's never on the field.
On the field.
When's the last time he played?
Number 1,
Is he
Patrick.
the modern day
Number 1,
Andrew
Patrick
Luck?
Mahomes.
Hey, he's not writing off Mahomes.
No, he's still the champ. When it comes to last 2 minutes, who you fear, it's still Patrick Mahomes until he gets dethroned. But Dan's point is 100% correct.
Got the rings, baby. Ringing it. Patrick, just look at those rings. Look at the jewelry first, and look at the yards per attempt second when he's got no surrounding talent. No surrounding talent. Look, the Chiefs, it's a great division they play in, and they may well not win the division, but I'll take your bet and give you odds if you don't think the Chiefs are a playoff team. They are.
I'm not saying they're not a playoff team. Again, I will say it again and again, and there's not a rebuttal to it. It's no longer fun to watch an offense that I assumed would always go over 30 points every single game they're playing. That I don't see how you argue against that.
I don't.
You said the Chiefs are dead. That's what you said. And it's okay. You can. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be, hey, I don't like watching their offense, and they are dead. But you said both things.
I feel like my dad.
And you said that Baker Mayfield's better than Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. I mean, Dan,
what
an hour for you.
My dad will just have everyone still in it. They're 0-2. They're still in it.
It's 2 weeks in. Everyone is still in it.
Right.
They have elite coaching. They have a great defense. They're okay. Rashee Rice is going to be back soon. They're probably going to trade.
He's not going to be back soon. He's out 6 games.
They're probably going to trade for Tyreek Hill. They're going to be okay.
He's going to play Sunday night for them.
Greg, just in analyzing throughout the history of sport, when you start 0-3 in that sport, your season tends to be done.
Yeah.
Almost statistically always.
I saw yesterday 4 teams have started 0-3 and made the playoffs since 1990.
Are you talking about the Dolphins or the Chiefs? You think the Chiefs are going to lose to the Giants?
The Bengals are the one that keep doing that 3 times, right? Yeah. The Bengals. I was talking about the Dolphins starting 0-3 and how behind Greg is because the Chiefs are a different 0-2 than the Dolphins are.
Sure.
The Dolphins are a calamitous 0-2. The Dolphins are the worst 0-2 there is in the entire league. Worse than Houston's, worse than the Saints, worse than Carolina's.
Ooh, an 0-2 off. I like this.
The Dolphins, look, no other team in the sport has this around them. Not this around them. Banners. The Texans did boo last night. The Texans fans were booing during that game. C.J. Stroud spoiled them the first season. They can't block anyone up the middle. And that offense is now all of a sudden neutralized. You said you're not used to quarterbacks coming in and immediately being good. C.J. Stroud's kind of started that trend. The first couple of times I saw that, one of the first times I saw it was Cam Newton's first game. He threw for like 400 yards. Usually that's not something that you see. But C.J. Stroud convinced us that he was a good quarterback, but he's now spent more time in the pros with us wondering whether he's a good quarterback than he spent being a good quarterback.
I'm worried he stinks. I'm going to say that out there. I'm just going to put that out there for everybody to think about. I'm worried he stinks.
Because we've seen it before. Like, I know injuries played a role too, but Robert Griffin was amazing his first year.
Rookie of the year.
And, like, he didn't do anything after that, you know. So we've seen some of these guys. Cam Newton was able to sustain it somewhat, But we've seen a few of them before Jaden Daniels.
I see your Dolphins 0-2, and I raise you a Chicago Bears 0-2.
They have a
embarrassing loss.
Worse point differential than the Dolphins.
And I would argue Houston, because they made the playoffs last year, their expectations were much higher than the Dolphins.
Neither of those coaches are going to be fired after week 3 in a conversation. And Zaslow fired
the
McDaniel
Bears coach just got
yesterday.
hired, so he's not going to be fired.
He's got a little slack.
Andy Reid might be on the hot seat now, though. 0-2 as well.
Yeah, since the Chiefs are dead.
You mentioned, by the way, Zaslow, Cam Newton was okay after that. Yeah, he won MVP after that. He opened with a 400-yard game and then went 15-1.
I don't think I said he was
MVP.
okay. I think he's somewhat sustained what he did.
Somewhat sustained.
Well, he didn't have 400 yards every game,
but he was MVP of the league. He did somewhat sustain it to become.
Boy,
MVP
Cam, how
of the
about you
league.
try and recover that fumble in the Super Bowl? You sit there and watch.
Yeah, there you go. Disappointing career, Cam Newton, based on talent, based on how it started, in my opinion.
Ooh, put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did Cam Newton have a disappointing career at Le Batard Show? He won an MVP and played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you don't agree. I'm surprised.
I mean, he was pretty great. That Carolina team is one of the worst collection of talents I've seen in a Super Bowl, other than the one Rex Grossman dragged to the Super Bowl. That team was 15-1.
You know how often Cam Newton has been mentioned in the same breath as Pro Football Hall of Fame? Never.
Okay, but he was the MVP of the league.
Okay. Other people have been and not made, people have great. Washington had a kicker who was the MVP of the league.
Okay, Mark Mosley's the same.
What?
What year was that?
So Mark Mosley in '83, just to be clear.
Even if Mark Mosley's watching this right now, he's like, where'd that come from?
I think it was 82, the strike season.
We should put up Cam Newton's career stats and Mark Mosley's career stats on the screen.
Yeah.
Mark Mosley's son would be like, that's not true.
He won an MVP.
I want a
He's the only kicker.
side-by-side of Cam Newton and Mark Mosley.
I want what Chris is imagining there, which is Mark Mosley waking up in the morning, firing up the YouTube, watching our show, and being just
It's like making coffee. It's listening in the distance. He's like,
Hell yeah.
What he did?
It is one of the most absurd things. I want you guys all right now, as we're listening to this together, go ahead and imagine a kicker winning MVP now. Imagine under what circumstances we would have to have in football in order for a kicker to win MVP. Are you guys in agreement that Dallas's kicker would have made that from 75 yards on Sunday?
Dude's got a boot.
That's crazy.
Could have been 80. He's ridiculous.
How is that a thing? He was kicking it from his own 45-yard line, and he made it easily.
Dan, they ran a running play the play before. They were like, no, we're good. He's going to make it. I
was like,
wait, what?
70-yarder.
He went for a draw play?
Can someone explain how the kickers have gotten so advanced in the last 10 years? In golf, you can explain it with the golf clubs. You know what I mean? Is it their shoes? I know bigger, faster, stronger, but it's just the jump. That's the guy?
That's Mark Mosley.
Did he run straight at the
gymnastics on that?
That's Cam Newton's comp.
I do think they should bring back the single bar helmet. The single bar helmet is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Kickers always used to wear those.
What was the name of the kicker? Was it Dempsey, who had half a foot?
Tom Dempsey had half a foot and used a steel toe in his shoe, and now that's what the kickers now are doing, I allege. They're all using steel-toed shoes Tom Dempsey.
No, they're not.
They're not using
it's like
their
the
toe.
sticky stuff in baseball.
He's alleging. We don't know for sure.
I'm alleging.
Pablo Torre will find out.
It makes sense.
Wasn't there a kicker who used to kick barefoot?
There have been a few. There have been a handful of kickers
not for a while,
who have been barefoot kickers. But when Greg says that he had a steel-toed shoe, he was kicking the ball with the toes. That's not something they do anymore.
Straightforward, right?
Right.
Yes, they're straightforward. They weren't coming from the side, and they weren't kicking it with the top of their foot.
Why'd they stop that? You can get some good power on that.
The Gogolax.
Didn't you try that, Dad, when we went to St. Thomas for your 50-yard field goal? You first tried doing it straight
I did. Yeah. I was better soccer style.
Yeah.
Chris, I have told you, okay, in sports, throughout sports, Sports Illustrated did an article about this about 8 or 9 years ago. Nothing has improved more anywhere across sports than the accuracy of kickers versus what it is that was once upon a time, where they go into the 90 percentile or the 80 percentile range. And it's mathematically, it was true 8 or 9 years ago, it's mathematically so, empirically so, that nothing in sports has been more improved than the kicker. And also, if you got a job in football, I understand that the pressure of this job seems unpleasant. Like the Bucs kicker last night was falling apart. The Bengals kicker the other day was falling apart because of the pressure with the job. But it's a really good job to have. If you never have to get hit, you could get paid millions of dollars. And all you're doing all the time is the lonely sculpting and perfecting of that one thing. And you're doing it so clinically and so always that you get as good at it that you're making kicks from your own 45-yard line.
Well, the Brandon Aubrey lore is that him and his wife were watching a game, and then a kicker missed a field goal, and then she's like, you could do that. And he's like, wait a second, I can't.
Well, he
do
was
that.
a soccer player.
For sure, but
and his wife was like, he was retired. His wife's like, hey, you could miss those.
Yeah, but he didn't play football, right? Like, he played soccer. Like, that's what he did. And then he's like, yeah, I can go out and do it. And now became the best kicker in the league.
There's no reason that a really good, like, collegiate soccer player who is not going to go to the next level can't then decide to try out to be a place kicker in the NFL.
You mentioned McLaughlin, the kicker for the Bucs, missing. He did the rare point to the sky after a miss. Usually they don't do it if they miss.
I respect that.
After a make, they do this thing.
I respect
he missed it, and he gave a very subtle, just like, thanks anyways. Thank you.
There was a Texan last night that did the same thing on what he thought was a sack, and it was just Baker Mayfield getting a first down. Tackled him 2 yards beyond the first down and was celebrating as if he'd gotten a sack, when all it was Tampa was really happy because it wasn't anything other than a successful first down for Tampa.
Here's an example of the evolution of place kickers in the NFL. One of the first storied Dolphins place kicker was Gary Yepremian.
Go on.
From the Super Bowl era, and his career accuracy percentage was 65%. You do that in the preseason now, and you don't make the roster.
Bill Barnwell was asking on the Dominique Foxworth show if the Cowboys could get a first-round pick for Brandon Aubrey. Could they? And he was also asking the question: it's your life savings. What would I have to set the number at where you're not nervous that Aubrey will come up short? Like, where do I have to put up the number? You're betting your life savings, and you're betting against the kick coming up short.
How long was the kick on Sunday?
It was 64 yards, and he made it easily from his own 46 yard.
If it was a 70-yard kick, I would take the under.
Yeah, you have to.
No, I wouldn't take the under on 7. He made. What do you mean?
But he's not doing I guarantee you, he still has kicks where he comes up short on that. I'm not saying he's not capable of it,
Chris. But what Tony said is accurate. With 7 seconds left in that game, Dallas was just trying to get the ball to the middle of the field. Like, they weren't trying to get down the field closer. They knew they were in his range, and everyone was questioning how stupid it was to simply run right up the middle if you could just throw an out for 6 yards, but they didn't need it because that guy can obviously make 70-yard field goals. Now, I'm talking about coming up short, though. I'm not talking about actually making the field goal. I'm saying he kicks the ball. You got to be right. It's your life savings. Where do I put the number where you're nervous that he's going to come up short?
If he had to kick another 64-yarder, I'm still going to think he's going to come up short.
If he kicks the ball from his own territory, even if it's his own 49, I would root against. I would bet against him making
But you
that.
did see how easily he made the
Yes,
64-yarder.
So from his own 49, it's a 67-yard field goal is what we're talking about.
I'm with Dan, though. Dan's making you put your life savings on this.
Guys,
so you guys are being a little flippant with this.
Guys, he was on his own 45. It wasn't the ball, but the ball was spotted. The ball, when it was held down for the kick, was at his own 45-yard line. That's where he kicked it from.
Right, so it was a 65-yarder. Right, okay.
Does anybody think longer field goals are good for the NFL, good for the sports watchability?
I don't think field goals in general are good for the NFL.
No, I don't either.
I'd like to eliminate them altogether.
And now we're seeing more of them.
I'm serious when I said I think they should be shortening the posts. Not quite as thin as arena football was, but I absolutely. I mean, Dave Damashek came in and he wants an actual box that you got to kick. I mean, I'm not doing that, but I think the posts should be much closer together.
Can I get Mike McDaniel sound here, please, that we didn't play yesterday? Because I don't believe this is happening around the Bears. I don't believe this is happening around the Saints. I don't believe this is happening around Carolina, where people are listening to the hometown coach and they're just tired of him yammering in circles.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
I'm glad he's being honest.
So to win the game, you have to not lose the game.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.
He ain't wrong.
Honestly.
I mean, it is honest and it is true.
I appreciate his honesty.
Yeah.
What is Big Mac saying? Have you guys checked in with Big Mac? Billy, have you checked in with Big Mac? Every time I come in through the carport, he gives me a thumbs down, and then I'm driving away, and he's just shouting at me how the Dolphins stink.
Yeah, he's not happy with the current state of affairs.
Big Mac's take of the day.
Didn't I tell you? I told you.
You had it right the whole time.
I knew it because I can't stand. I feel sorry for him in a sense, but it's time for him to get out of here. I'm tired of looking at that sad.
Greer, McDaniel,
all
Tua.
of them. Do it. I told you, do it. It hurts me. Yeah. And then he called out the whole doggone team. He don't talk about himself.
It's all we.
You the one messing us up. I told you if we lose the game, if we lose it was going to be because of him. And that's exactly what happened.
Big Mac's take of the day.
Just truth bombs in the local hour between McDaniel and Big Mac. No lies told here. We speak more honestly about the dumpster fire that is the Dolphins here than anyone in entertainment.
When you guys make big announcements, are you one that just likes to rip the Band-Aid off or really just drag this out? Like, if you had something really important to say in this segment, would you just say it right now? Or would you, like, let's have a segment, have a little conversation, and then
what do you
build
mean
up
big
to
announcements? Like what kind of big announcements?
I don't know. I'm just saying if hypothetically someone wanted to announce something in here.
Announce
like Witty,
what,
if you wanted to announce something, would you just like, are you rip the Band-Aid off kind of guy?
I think I am. I don't like to drag things out.
Get right to the point.
Get right to the point.
But why are you guys talking about big announcements?
Because I just like to talk about life sometimes, and we all have big announcements to make sometimes.
Right. You never know.
And I just like to see. I like to go around the room, get a feel for how people like audience. How do you like? We're gonna give a little 10 seconds of silence here, so everyone in the audience can say how they handle big announcements. All right, so audience, when you have a big announcement, are you a rip the Band-Aid type, or do you slow burn? Shh.
Wow.
This is a callback to Naked Chris, by the way. I used to do this with Naked Chris.
You guys are so uncomfortable with silence, you couldn't get through 4 seconds.
Chris is
Working in radio for a long time, Dan.
No, ready to go. Dan and I were ready for 10 seconds.
So I still don't understand what you're doing, though. What are we making a big announcement here? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we are.
But who's making it? Is Chris Cote making it? I mean,
I am making a big announcement. Well,
okay.
I don't like to classify my own announcements as big or not big.
Wait a minute.
I'll leave that to you guys.
I started this segment, and there's actually an announcement that needs to be made.
What are the chances?
Wow.
Good at this. All right, so
Witty's leaving.
It was really poor acting.
Spoiler alert.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, Chris Cote is correct. He has indeed broken my news. I will no longer be the executive producer of this program. I took over that job like a year and a half ago, but yeah, I will indeed be leaving that. And I have decided to commit fully to my play-by-play role, which I have recently begun with Apple. And I will no longer, well, I don't want to say no longer, because I'll still be around here at Meadowlark. We're working on a project that I will be a part of. But in terms of regular daily involvement on this show, that comes to a conclusion today. I'll still be around. Like, I think every once in a while, I'll still kind of.
They're hugging you.
Yes.
Did you have a different way of doing this before Chris Cote got involved?
No, I didn't write anything. I was going to say it just as awkwardly.
Some people would argue that you presided over the single worst era of the Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
And if that is...
That was Andy King, year 1.
Oh, no.
Not Andy's fault. Not Andy's fault.
That's a stretch.
No. My fault and Dan's fault. Not Andy's fault. Okay?
Poor Andy King. All right. So I come in
It's our
third,
fault, not Andy King's. I said it.
I come in third then. That's fine. But if that's on my tombstone, at the very least, I got to say, I work with you, tremendous group of people. I love you all. I will miss you all.
Well, rank us.
Hold on. Before we get to making this awkward and syrupy, we are very happy for you because when you started over here, you are now embarking on what is your dream job, correct? This is, and for those who do not know, we have known Whittingham since he was a young broadcaster in college, heard him on a WVUM game, and he was exceptional, noticed him that he was good at the art of play-by-play, and so you bailed us out during a really turbulent, difficult time by coming over here and simply being helpful at a time, and we still need the help because we're going to miss you, but you're getting your dream job. This is, and you want to devote yourself to it because you can't. People don't understand how consuming these jobs are. They think Joe Buck shows up and can just fart out 4 hours, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, I didn't honestly because when I got it, I was like, all right, this works out perfectly. Fly out on a Friday, do the game on a Saturday, fly back on a Sunday, do the show Monday to Thursday. It'll be fine. It'll work out great. And then you get into doing it, it's like, whoa, this is a lot. So I've embarked on a couple trips and. It kind of proved to be too much for me. And I kind of decided that, this is absolutely my dream job. And, working more towards this and being able to do it better is really important to me. So, I'll still be kind of hanging around in case anyone needs me for anything. But in terms of regular involvement in the show, and I actually, Dan, in honor, I have a top 5 list if you want it.
Wow!
On the way out here, as sort of a memento to leave behind.
Okay, so this is a top 5 list on one of the worst eras ever of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, surpassed only by Andy King. Although Stugotz says it's my fault and his fault.
Yes.
By the way, those 3 weeks when I started in between ESPN and just doing a podcast the next day, one of the craziest 3 weeks of my life. That was batshit crazy.
The whole thing has been batshit crazy.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Amin El-Hassan will be here momentarily to give us his weekend observations and spend the hour with us. I will remind you that the Carolina Panthers had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield in their quarterback room and then just decided to start spending draft picks on quarterbacks. I'm watching the television right now. Thumbs up or thumbs down on Dominique Foxworth being on Get Up, and they've got a segment, 0 Fox Given, and then it's Dominique Foxworth's head on a cartoon fox. That is a thumb down from Tony.
It's on site with him still.
It's still on site with him. Okay, so you're biased. Yeah. I want to do funniest thing from the sports weekend.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Great bit.
We've gotten away from funniest thing from the sports weekend. Do you like 0 Fox Given? And it's Dominique Foxworth's head on the cartoon body of a fox that didn't look like a fox, that only looked like a fox because it was 0 Fox Given.
It's a play on words.
Yeah, I get that. Thumbs down to the 0 Fox Given.
We want that thumb to go this direction.
Thumbs up to the cartoon head.
It's not a cartoon head. It's his head in a cartoon
Well, that's
fox's
what I mean. Yeah,
body.
same thing. Yeah.
Well, what does the fox say?
Chris, find the what does the fox say sound, but can you give me in the interim what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend? What would be your nominee, Chris?
Hey, people, tell us what in the sport made you laugh hardest this weekend. It is a segment we call What Made You Laugh This Weekend. Ha ha ha!
Dan, my answer is easy. It's Jared Goff doing his version of the Lambeau Leap in Detroit. Now, we can't show this on video because it'll get us pinged, but look it up. It is hilarious. He's acting like that wall, which St. Brown just kind of leaps, goes backwards, and falls into as easy as possible. And Jared Goff comes running up. He's like, I want in on this. And he climbs it in a way that you would see a 70-year-old trying to climb something. It's
pathetic.
It's hilarious. And then, like, the people are trying to help him up. It's just, and then St. Brown's like, I got you. It's just hilarious. Jared Goff can't jump.
Jeremy, what is the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Anthony Rizzo having a home run ball hit directly at him in the bleachers and just completely whiffing on it. He had an opportunity for this to be the coolest moment ever. The first career home run for Ballesteros, the Cubs catcher, hit right at him, and it just bounces right off his hands as he's inducted into the Cubs Hall of Fame.
And there's Bert Kreischer. He got the ball instead of Rizzo. Rizzo's got to come up with that. Obviously has to come up with that.
Why did he try to one-hand that? What's he holding? His phone? Put your phone down, buddy.
Brewers fan gets it, is that? Oh.
Tony, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Dan, nobody wanted to talk Jags with you yesterday. It was very unfortunate. I was listening back. I was like, guys, great game. Somebody talk about it. Somebody talk about it.
With me yesterday either.
I'm here for both of them. We could do Jags/boxing.
Why don't you call each other?
We could. So we were texting actually during the game. We were like, this is it. This has to be it. Like, BTJ has to do something. And then he shied away from 16 balls and dropped a fourth down that would have won the game. Anyways, most importantly, the funniest thing from the sports weekend is Trevor Lawrence in said game, rolling out, feeling pressure on the right side, going to the left, saying, oh, I got an angle here, running 3 yards past the line of scrimmage on the side that the chains are on. Right. So he sees the line of scrimmage, runs right by them, then throws the ball out of the end zone to nobody.
He stinks.
We got to find a way to get this yellow line on the field for the players.
Is Trevor
or like
Lawrence
the black one for the line of scrimmage? Like, it'd be very helpful for them.
Is he the quarterback in the league most likely to do that? I feel like he's the one I most associate with a lack of awareness about where these things are.
He does it once a season.
I could see Tua doing it.
Trevor Lawrence. He's the anti Baker Mayfield. He's the guy who started off like he's the superstar. He's going to be the next big quarterback.
Has been the opposite.
And then his career has gradually gone this way.
They got him a lot of weapons, man.
I know.
Billy, what is the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
UCLA paid New Mexico $1.2 million to come and just take a loss, and instead they beat the Bruins 35-10. They fall to 0-3, and now they have fired their coach.
It's one of my favorite things in sports. When the college team pays the other team to come play at them, and then they lose. I love that.
But losing 35-11 to New Mexico. Deshaun Foster, you guys remember his initial press conference, right? That career lasted 1 year and 3 games. That's an apocalypse.
We could have known from the press conference, right?
It was pretty bad press conference. Greg, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Now, I did not hear Tom Brady say this, so I'm using my imagination to imagine what it sounded like when Tom Brady mispronounced the name Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, we're not going to play this audio, but it's
Yeah,
bad.
let's not. But I love making
how do you
making
think
fun
he
of
said
Tom
it?
Brady. Love making fun of Tom.
Great run by.
Yeah, I'm afraid of shot clock for that reason. I'm afraid of certain words.
I'm not afraid of any word. I'll say what I say.
He said it, and you're like, was that? Did he say? I didn't hear the H there.
Say with my chest out.
Herniated disc. You got to be careful with.
Whatever.
Zaslow, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
I don't know if you guys saw this, but when the Colts kicked the game-winning field goal against the Broncos, so the kick, it's going straight down the middle. Okay, they got to do over. The kick is good, but if you notice, the Colts mascot. First of all, he's standing directly underneath the crossbar.
Always makes me laugh.
Why is that? Why is that allowed?
No, it's allowed because he bangs his head against it when they miss it, and he celebrates it when they make it, and it's delightful. It's delightful every single time.
So he's right under the crossbar as the ball is mid-flight, but as he sees it's going in mid-flight, he's doing the thing where he's doing the pelvic thrusts.
That's right.
Well, we're mid-play.
That's right.
And he's standing practically in
That's
the
his
end
move.
zone.
Yes, that's
doing
his move.
Pelvic
yes,
thrusts.
that's why it's great.
It's got the best angle of the game.
It's so good.
It is funny, and he's got the pelvic thrust. He's got the Bill Parcells pear-shaped body, and so it undulates. The love handles the lower half. It's wonderful. I'm going to nominate something that not a lot of people saw. John Daly broke the professional record for most strokes on a hole. He had a par 5, and he got a 19.
I saw there was a 4-way tie for 18 that he was included in earlier in his career. So he broke his own record that he was tied with. So now he stands alone. 19 strokes, 1 hole.
That's on brand for Daly. I hate to say it, but he's now the man of the people, drinking beer on the course. This enhances the image he has cultivated
And
post-real career.
I read the details on it. This was a tin cup situation where he just had a thing of I can make
Stubborn.
this. I'm going to get this. And he had 4 penalties in a row on one shot.
Amin, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
19 strokes, 1 hole is pretty funny right there. No, I had the Russell Wilson throw. You guys know what throw I'm talking about. It was second down at the end of the game.
He was so good that game throwing deep.
He was, and then he had just that one throw where it was what's wrong? I'm going to steal from my weekend observations, but it reminded me of my shot.
Well,
it was
you can't call it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because while I remember that was a bit of a punt, it felt to me like he was just saying, do I have the wrong receiver? I just thought it was neighbors. Go do something. I'm going to throw one of these parabola balls up there, and I've got neighbors on my team. Go do something. Isn't that who he was throwing to?
It worked for most of the game, but I'm not talking about that throw. I'm talking about the throw right before the INT. He's trying to throw it out to the slot, and then it just got away from him, and his hand kind of did this weird thing, and I saw it. I was like, damn, that's my shot.
I think we all thought you meant the INT.
No, not the INT. The INT was that was a prayer. That wasn't funny. It was just sad the way it ended. But I'm talking about the play right before it, where they were second and long, because his hand kind of flopped when he tried to throw the ball.
Can you turn down the circus music real quick so we can transition to more serious subject matter? If you have not seen Amin lately on Pablo Torre Finds Out, he's been kicking ass with David Sampson.
What
and before we get into that story and before we get into Amin's weekend observation, since Jeremy mentioned it, can you just play What Does the Fox Say so that we can close the loop on that and just make fun of Stugotz's pronunciations?
Dan goes, Bo goes, Tim goes, and Cat goes, Poppy goes, Dan goes, and the Van Gundy goes, Lance says, and Bill goes, and McGill goes, but there's one sound that no one knows. What does the God say?
Error, bang, leaks, and illuminate mirror, rock, jerky, turd, human, comfy, unparalleled.
What the God say?
May I meet creator, stubborn, open, apple, turbo, having reacted attacks,
What the God say?
bakes it a hold, paragraphing, couple, recovery, elderly, digested, remaining risks.
What the God say?
Value, Labray, Nudamico, Nudamicon, Nudmakon, Numaka, hard boiled.
What does the God say?
sideline. Visit replay. The Tony rationalization. Communicate. How long ago? What the God say? Sophistication. Sapping. Stadium. Reclamation. Humongous. Fred, a friend, family. What the God say?
For those of you asking, Stugotz, God bless football, stupidity, it is quite the undertaking to do some stuff like this that is business building on your own. You should know that Stugotz will be back here shortly as soon as he's got everything up and running.
He'll be shortly? Or no,
he always arrives everywhere shortly. Yes, that's how he that's how he does it. I mean, the story that you've been working on with Pablo Torre that continues to have advancements, and he is months and miles ahead of everyone on. One of the more curious things, and I didn't get this, why was the NBA media feeling like it was downplaying this story before Pablo had the second episode? It was weird to me to watch so many people just sort of want it not to be true that Ballmer wouldn't know. I thought that they would go the opposite way on that. What happened there? Do they just like Ballmer?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things at play. One of them is Ballmer's a nice guy, and he is overall good for the league. He's a good ambassador for the league. He's been a good owner for the Clippers. He's invested a lot of money and into the fan experience. So overall, I think, I often wonder if this were Jim Dolan, how would the media respond? I think everyone would have their knives out because he's an easy target. But Steve Ballmer makes people like, oh, not Steve. He's a good guy, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing also is it goes back to the thing you always like to talk about is that we like to think these guys are so brilliant. And when we are face-to-face with, maybe not that brilliant, that kind of shatters our preconceived notions. And I think people have a problem with that. And then the last part is, I'm going to say it, I think there's a little bit of jealousy. A hint of jealousy because Pablo not only has the resources to do this kind of reporting, but also he's got the freedom to not have to do the type of reporting that most of these other people have to do. Everyone else is chasing who's signing where and get traded where and all that stuff. And Pablo doesn't have to spend any molecules of energy on that. All of his time is spent on breaking these huge stories or having Alonzo Hamburger Jones on the show. It's quite the niche he's carved out for himself.
I can speak from experience. When you get beat on a big story, your human instinct is to downplay that as if what you got beat on wasn't that big a story. And if you're a full-time NBA journalist trying to get stories just like this and you get beat by a guy on a podcast who really isn't affiliated with the NBA much, you sting. It stings.
Greg, what's an example of either a story you got beat on where you felt like, oh, man, that's not that big of a story, or a story that you beat someone else to and they try to downplay it for you?
Well, I go way back to the 80s where there was what was it called, Dan? Autogate? What was it called?
The Miami News was breaking stories about the University of Miami. Right. And what a quaint time, now that you think of NIL. Somebody may have gotten a car as Carson Beck gets his Lamborghini stolen.
Right.
One of his
From
two
a $5 million house.
One of his two cars. But yes, there was a Greg Cote, to be fair to Greg Cote, and I wasn't good at this either. The breaking of news I was terrible at, didn't like doing it, and Greg wasn't great at it either.
No, I wasn't. I did have a couple of minor scoops when a guy...
Dan's engagement.
A guy was arrested, and I had that first. But that was a big story the Miami News broke. And yeah, my instinct is, man, how can I follow this story and make it seem like I wasn't beat as badly as I was on a big story. And so I think that's what was at play.
I think our last DraftKings deal get reported and you didn't get that scoop? I think that's what you're mad about.
It could be.
Yeah. I find it hard to believe, though, that that what you guys are saying here would be right in terms of jealousy, just because this story is so complicated and took so much time. I don't think anybody would have wanted to do it. It would have been too hard to do this story.
Yeah, Dan, it's hard because most reporters don't have, again, the resources and the latitude, right? Even given the resources, just the latitude of, I can focus all my energy. For 7 months, Pablo investigated this, which is why when Mark Cuban has his rebuttals and all these other podcasts, like, you guys are sitting on your couch basically, whatever. This dude put in 7 months of reporting on this, and it goes a little bit beyond just an opinion. Well, I don't think he would have done that, or he couldn't have done that. The other thing I want to point out is people keep saying he wouldn't be that sloppy about Steve Ballmer. This was anything but sloppy. This was an incredibly sophisticated scheme, allegedly, right, that is only uncovered by either A, Kawhi Leonard deciding I need to get every last penny of mine, so I'm going to be listed as a creditor, B, this company even going under to begin with, and C, Pablo Torre spending 7 months tracking things down and talking to people on the record and all those things. Like, that's a lot of stuff that needed to go wrong for the Clippers to get found out. So stop talking about how this was sloppy. This was anything but sloppy.
I mean, let's say that the NBA's findings, I know they've hired an outside firm, but let's say the findings are what Pablo has reported on. Worst case scenario, what does Adam Silver do?
Worst case scenario, we're talking forfeiture of picks. We're talking voiding of Kawhi Leonard's contract. Steve Ballmer suspended. Dennis Wong probably suspended. Hefty fine, probably up to $10 million, I believe. And that's pretty much it. I know the commissioner talked about he has broad powers, but the collective bargaining agreement is pretty specific about what the penalties are. I had someone ask me, can they lower the cap on them or lower the apron? No, you can't, because the rules in Article 13 of the collective bargaining agreement are pretty specific on what the commissioner can and can't do to punish a cap circumvention situation.
Does Malik Neighbors doing the night-night celebration leading to the Cowboys win, is that something that would have been the funniest thing from that game instead of you choosing the throw before the interception?
Yeah, the night-night thing, right? I as soon as he did it, I looked at the clock. I said, that's not when you do it. Like, you do it when it's done, when they're in the ground, and that hasn't happened quite yet. Again, it wasn't funny because I was watching the game and I went from the high of, oh, my God, the Giants are about to do this the day after Georgia Tech beat the shit out of Clemson. Well, how about that? We're not going to just scoot over that one.
Congratulations. We talked about that yesterday. You've got a well-coached team. You've got a team that overachieves. It's such a nice-looking team.
Dan, I'm. You know what? I was watching that game and I was so happy, and at the same time I got incredibly sad. And it reminded me of I was sad because I watched Brent Key and I was like, oh, he's going to be Alabama's coach next year. Like, there's no chance we're going to hold on to this guy. He's too good of a coach. He's going to get a bigger job, probably Alabama, when they fire the jamoke that they have right now. But when I thought about the happiness and the sadness at the same time, it reminded me of my dad. My dad would sigh deeply on Friday. And I'm like, Dad, what's wrong? He's like, Monday's like the day after tomorrow. Like, he was already looking forward to the disappointment of Monday on Friday coming home from work. And that's how I felt. Like, I was already looking forward to the disappointment of Brent Key leaving after he's done so many amazing things at Georgia Tech.
That's an excellent way to go through life, always miserable, never feeling actual joy. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Should DeBoer's first name be legally changed to Jamoke? Let's do weekend observations, please.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes.
No.
No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
He's coming.
Dan? Oh, weekend observations is presented by Miller Lite. Dan? This past weekend in Vegas, we had ourselves a throwback. The stars were out. The pomp and circumstance was first class. The attention of the entire sports world was fixated as we watched a black guy and a brown guy beat the ever-living shit out of each other in a meaningful boxing match, courtesy of the Saudis. Remember when everyone was up in arms about Live Golf being in Saudi Arabia? That was fun. Patrick Mahomes gets the blame for the interception because Travis Kelce made a business decision. That seems unfair. There should be a different stat for when an interception is thrown because the receiver messed it up, right? Like, that shouldn't count on the quarterback, should it? No opinions. Got it.
No,
Great job,
I'm
Greg.
sorry. It's
All right.
Tony's heckling me. I'm sorry.
I'm not heckling
Tony,
you.
While you were talking, Tony's like, "Hey Dan, how about Sam Morril taking $500,000 from the Saudis to do the comedy festival?" That's what I was getting in my ear.
And Joe Coy's on fire.
As you were
Everybody.
Yeah, Tom
Everybody
Brady.
took the money.
Yep.
Everybody took the money.
I think
I don't blame
Santino's there too.
Santino's there. Bobby Lee's there. Everyone's there. Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator for the Raiders, said he goes through film 2 to 3 times a week with Tom Brady. Might want up the dosage there, Chief. Great seeing Max Kellerman working again. So that's where he's been. Hey, Smetty, your alma mater sucks. No, not that one. The other one. Although that one sucks too. Where's Tyler when you need him? Canelo Alvarez looks like Blake Griffin's cousin from Mexico.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Does Canelo Alvarez look like Blake Griffin's cousin, shorter, from Mexico?
Next time someone asks me about something I don't want to talk about, I'm going to start talking about construction going on at my house. The Dolphins are 0-2. Greg Cote, stay strong. Baker Mayfield, he's got the goods, dude. Haynes King, best running quarterback in the nation. Book it. I can't tell whether the injury turf toe has great PR or terrible PR. Is there any injury that sounds more benign than turf toe? Right? Turf toe sounds like, oh, I had some turf toe. And this guy's out for 3 months now because of turf toe. The Giants lead the league in fun names. Dart, Neighbors, Scattaboo. They even have a Thibodeau. This one is black, though. Jorge Garbajosa is the president of FIBA Europe. So that's where he's been. Russell Wilson threw that one pass like I shot that one shot. You know both the pass and shot I'm talking about. Apparently not, though, because everyone acted like they never remembered that pass. Okay. What's the Charlie Sheen doc? In it, we learned that Charlie Sheen once got loaded drunk on a commercial flight and the captain let him fly the plane.
That was horrifying.
What?
That was horrifying. That's how it
Dan.
started. That's how the documentary starts.
What?
What?
Dan, for some people, that idea is horrifying. For others, it's slightly less horrifying than having a black pilot. Isn't it weird when drug addicts are clean shaven? You think about that? Like, I'm watching Charlie Sheen throughout this entire documentary, 2-part documentary, which is really revelatory, and him crashing and all this stuff and looking really wild-eyed and crazy. His hair is crazy, but he's always clean shaven. Like, every morning, Charlie Sheen's getting up in front of the mirror, like, all drugged out, and like, hold on, gotta make sure this thing is nice and smooth.
I think the Sheens and the Estevezes just have trouble growing facial hair. All three of them, Martin, Emilio, none of them can grow facial hair.
I don't know. He had those sideburns that one time he came out of rehab that were really funky looking. Everyone needs a Tony Todd. That's his best friend.
Yeah.
Stuck with him through thick and thin. Everyone also needs a Marco. That's his other best friend, who's a drug dealer, who made the crack weaker so that Charlie could get weaned off of it.
That's awful.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is your friend making the Coke weaker so you can get weaned off it? Thoughtful.
Not Coke, crack.
Sorry.
7-gram rocks, folks.
Sorry,
He
crack.
said that shit was real. Hey, Netflix, reboot Ozark with Steve Ballmer. Jamal Haynes, first-round talent. Genevieve O'Reilly should have won an Emmy for Andor. It's the best show that none of you guys are talking about because it's Star Wars, but it's actually a really well-done show. It's got a lot of politics in it. You should watch it.
Where did you side when I said that if I gave Mobland 6 or 7 seasons like The Sopranos, it would be better than The Sopranos?
I think I could see how you get that logic, but I think you always have to give respect to how well The Sopranos was done because that basically informed a generation of TV creators. Oh, this is the standard now.
There have been so many good shows that fall off after a few seasons. I get that you don't think that would happen here, but That happens a lot.
Understood, but Guy Ritchie tends to make good things, and it's usually not directors that are making the shows. Like it's not signature directors from the movies. You think Scorsese's going to fall apart after 5 or 6 seasons? Like, do you believe that he's going to make things that are bad?
Well, to be fair, Boardwalk Empire, while I liked it all the way through the end, it certainly wasn't the same as it was at the beginning.
I'm almost done with it. I think it's good.
It is good, but it's not as good as it's when it started, right?
Correct.
There you go. And that was Scorsese, right? All right. The more Steve Ballmer, Mark Cuban, Andre Cherny, and the worldwide leader, and anyone else deny the allegations, the more Pablo looks like the truth teller of the year. Halftime of Raiders-Chargers came after 11:30 p.m. Eastern. East Coast, how do y'all do it? R.I.P. Charlie Rosen. Great author of books like The Wizard of Odds, More Than a Game, Players and Pretenders, and Perfectly Awful, all of which describe me on a date. Adam Silver, calling the NBA a highlight league is like admitting that you don't actually read the articles in Playboy. We know you aren't lying, but don't say the quiet part out loud. Shout out to Nile Nights this weekend in New York City. Tickets available now. Support a good cause. Keelan Rutledge is a grown-ass man. Dan, do you know about this kid?
He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah. He was plays for Tech. He was in a car accident 2 years ago, and they nearly amputated his foot. Same foot would go on to help stomp on Clemson on Saturday.
You're feeling yourself now, huh? You're no longer a rambling wreck.
Dan, I actually started looking at hotels for the ACC championship game.
Wow.
That's where I'm at.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be Miami, Georgia Tech.
Well, you know how that's been recently. Northwestern will be the first sports team in history to make a massive step down when they move into their new arena. Do you guys see where they're playing? They're playing in a makeshift stadium, but it's on the lake. It looks beautiful.
It looks picture perfect. Like it looks
the surrounding
like a
area is gorgeous, but the stadium itself, those seats, no bounce house.
George the Messiah in an Aura ad makes me want to call my agent and wonder where we went wrong. You guys know who George the Messiah is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Scalabrini took that ass.
Yeah, he did. Do you guys see he was in an ad during the Canelo fight for the Aura rings? And I was like, this guy's got an agent?
When Scalabrini, have you talked to Scalabrini about taking him down in Rucker Park?
It wasn't Rucker, West 4th Street. It was at West 4th. But, yeah, I talked to him briefly about it, yeah.
This is a guy, for those of you who do not know, this is a guy who trash talked and said he could take everyone down on the playground and that he could beat NBA players, and then Scalabrini just dusted him.
He specifically said he would beat Scalabrini. That's call out.
Had no chance. None. That's why Tony has no chance against Amici.
Oh, come on.
Amici's like 80 at this point, isn't he?
Guy hasn't touched the ball in 17 years. Come on.
It's like riding a bike, Tony. Back to the Canelo Crawford fight. Some faces in the crowd. Stephen A. Smith looked like he got his shirt from Dan Flash's. Dave Chappelle looked like he was styled by the Incredible Hulk. I pray I never get buff enough where, like, sleeves are an impediment. Mark Anthony, button that shirt up. Angel Reese, yowza. Wilmer Valderrama. So that's where he's been. Macaulay Culkin, you still got them Oakleys? Mr. Beast, when is your 15 minutes up? Turki Al-Sheikh, let me hold $1. Dan, that was the conspicuously Saudi Arabian-looking gentleman sitting ringside and then entered the ring after the fight.
The most important guy in the building.
Most important guy in the building. Tennessee, you had one job. Dan, do you know what a Georgia Tech alum will respond if you ask him what the good word is?
I do not.
To hell with Georgia. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. those are the weekend observations.
Before we let you get out of here and before we talk to you about Cinephobe, you mentioned Pablo and looking good during these times. I'm reminded of a quote. I do not know who said it. Quote, during times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. What do you believe to be the most interesting thing of all the things that you and Samson have sat there for as Pablo surprises you again and again because he's unveiling his news to you guys from the entire macro of the story, not just surprises individually? What do you think is the most interesting thing?
Ooh, I mean, I think the most interesting thing, like I said, is how sophisticated this alleged scheme is. It involves a corporate partner and shell companies and money's diverted and a no-show job. And it's like there's a lot of layers to this. And it pains me whenever people say, well, call me whenever they have the Joe Smith smoking gun. And I said, I mean, clearly they learned from the Joe Smith situation. Like, you can't have just a direct piece of paper, here's money, under the table. You've got to be more sophisticated. And I think, like I said earlier, they did a remarkable job, allegedly. And the only thing that basically undid them was the corporate partner being a huge scam. They couldn't have seen that coming. That Kawhi Leonard and his camp could not just let the last $7 million go. And that Pablo Torre exists, that he exists and he did all this work and dug and found all that out. But other than those three things happening, they would have got away with it scot-free. And I think that's something that a lot of people need to keep in mind. Also, the fact that the dude's daughter worked for the company, Dennis Wong's daughter, come on, man.
She works hard.
Come on.
I mean, what's been the most enjoyable part for you, like as a bystander, watching all of it unfold?
I think the most enjoyable part was watching, like, having recorded the episode already, but the episode didn't drop until Thursday. So watching people react to Adam Silver's press conference after the Board of Governors, and then making up all these kind of, well, I'm sure these explanations or whatever, and knowing, oh, no, you guys don't even know the next part where the vice chairman has a $2 million cash infusion into this crashing ship, right? And also, like, just that part, just finding out, the money came from DEA 88, and that's registered under Dennis Wong, who owns 1% of the Clippers, the only percentage that Steve Ballmer doesn't own. Oh, yeah, he's his college roommate. Oh, yeah, he knew that the company was going down, or had to have known because his daughter worked there. All of that, having to sit and keep that to myself while people were like, yeah, I don't know about this reporting and all that. It was just
so good.
So
good.
One of the things we've been telling you guys around here is that in this time of individual creators, a lot of people around here are starting their own thing. Amin, for a long time, has had Cinephobe. It is a project, a labor of great love for him because it's different than anything else out there in terms of who's talking about movies where. What's coming up on Cinephobe, Amin?
This week we have the 2007 movie War, featuring Jet Li and Jason Statham before he fully committed to shaving his head. So he still has like this weird peach fuzz on the top of his head. It is everything you want from an early 2000s action movie. The kind of action movies that don't exist anymore. I kind of miss them, right? It's not about like quick cuts and slick hand-to-hand combat like John Wick. No. It's just big, dumb action. Get a gun, shoot a bunch of people, have Jet Li roundhouse kick someone. Great fun.
We have not talked about Robert Redford passing away at 89 years old. I'm wondering if this is, when he dies, that if that time dies with him, that it's not even possible for someone to be a movie star like that anymore because of how fractured things are and where it is you get things, some of them on television, some of them on your phone. Do I have that wrong, that the movie star cannot be what Robert Redford was anymore? Do I have this incorrect?
Yeah, I mean, it's harder for sure. Like, who even has a chance of being that?
Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet is the argument.
Is DiCaprio too old for me to put in that argument?
No, DiCaprio's he's sort of the same ushered in. I'm talking about next. I'm talking
Sydney
about
Sweeney.
Yeah.
No.
I said, yeah.
See you later, Amin. Good talking to you. Thank you. Did you guys see the numbers that Netflix put out on Canelo and Crawford?
No.
41 million, they claim.
No,
They claim.
No way. No
Million
way.
what?
No way.
What do you mean, no way?
Nanoseconds?
What do you mean, no way? No, 41 million viewers.
I don't believe that. I can't believe that.
Would you believe it when I tell you that Jake Paul and Tyson did 108 million?
Yeah, because Jake Paul's the face of boxing.
Wait a minute, you guys, you are sitting here saying that you think that it's normal for Jake Paul to do 2.5 times what the best boxer in the world did against Canelo Alvarez?
Is this them claiming that this is how many people TVs streamed it, or is this their math of people watched it? You know what I mean? Because I could have 10 people at my house watching one TV.
We
I'm
did. I was
curious.
at the bachelor party, and there was 12 dudes huddled around the TV watching Canelo Crawford.
That's why I'm wondering if they're doing some math of that's how many people watched, or that's how many sets were streaming the fight.
I'm used to the narcissism you guys generally have that if you haven't seen it, it's not important to anyone else. But there were a lot of people who were interested in this fight, and it still only drew a third as much as a circus carnival act. Somebody's going to it's being put together, right? Mayweather and Tyson. Like, we've turned boxing into the circus. The thing that's going to get numbers is the circus, because there aren't very many people in boxing right now fighting that the mainstream finds interesting. You've got to have boxers people care about. You've got to have, if it's not going to be giant punching power, it has to be either stories people care about or fighters people care about. And so that's what happens, right? The Mayweather-Tyson fight's going to happen, correct?
Yeah, it's just like, at what point do you feel like the circus kind of runs out of gas? And it's like, Mayweather, okay, this is the last time we saw him was fight Logan Paul.
Yeah, clearly never.
It's
all a scam. It's such a scam. And
is boxing dead?
Well, no, it's not dead. 41 million people allegedly just watched Canelo. When Canelo Alvarez fights, it's always pay-per-view monster. Always.
And remind me, what's the other guy's name again? It's Terrence?
We're really doing this? He's the best.
Bud Crawford. He's been on the show before.
I hate this. I hate what we're doing here. This is
no respect, Dan.
No, but it's just we don't see what we're showing in terms of our ignorance by yawning and being indifferent about a story that a lot of people do care about. Not any of them in this room.
It says 41 million viewers. So it's not for, like, if it's, I don't know. I want to know what they mean here, whether this is 41 Netflix accounts that were streaming or 41 million people.
It was 41 accounts. All of them had 1 million people watching.
There you go. Well, that would be clear for me.
I mean, you can't think that Mayweather versus Tyson is a good thing for boxing. You can't think that, can you?
What's a good thing for boxing? That I saw Canelo Alvarez look undressed the way I've only seen one other time with Floyd Mayweather, and Canelo said afterward that Crawford is better than Floyd. Like, I'm not going to not find that interesting, but I'm talking to a group of people who could not possibly care any less about this.
Neither does that younger and smarter audience that you want, Dan.
Prison at the end.
Jessica says goodbye to Chris Witty.
Jessica has compiled for us a list. I mean, because I don't want to say she is thrilled that Witty is gone. I would not allege such a thing. But there were sparks created in the tensions of Witty just generally being annoying and unusual. And I think being more comfortable than anybody in the history of our show showing everybody his weirdness is.
I love this, that we're just burying him on the day after he leaves.
Well,
we should do this more often.
Do it when he's here.
Enough. No, he's going
We
around.
did, to be fair.
He's taking
I know,
a
I'm
victory lap, and he's like, waving at everybody like, and Mike is calling him one of the greatest human beings he's ever met, and enough.
Well, he is.
Enough with the kid's 30. Enough with the
You left
eulogy.
me in a lurch, though.
Yeah, that's a great human being for you. Hey, Mike, hold this steaming bag of shit for me. Will I go blow up somewhere else?
I have never heard someone describe themselves as a steaming bag of shit.
Oh, wait, I'm not. What?
You're in the middle of what we're doing. How do you get?
How do you think we got steaming?
We were just a bag of shit, and then you just got here, and the thing really caught fire. Top 5 weirdest things about Chris Whittingham. Is that what the list is?
Well, I decided to make it the top 5 revelations that we learned about Witty over the last 2 years. He will be missed. Like you said, Dan, we often bickered on air because he could be very disagreeable and contrarian at times. And as a grumpy person, I tended to argue back with him constantly.
OLI? Do we have OLI?
We have one OLI.
Because he gave us so many weirdnesses. And one of the things I truly loved about Witty, I do past tense there because I no longer love him.
Yes, that's right.
But he is alive, right?
One of the things I loved about Witty is his great comfort. And yes, that's weird about me. You think it's weird, and I don't care that you think it's weird.
Exactly.
OLI.
He wore 2 watches.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I could never get over that one.
Yeah,
That's only an OLI because he revealed it to us 2 weeks ago. Apple sent him a watch when they hired him.
The watch.
And he decided to wear that on one wrist and his wrist watch on the other wrist.
He says he's going to do it going forward, period, that he likes it as a stylistic choice.
Of course he does.
Number
Weirdo.
5. Double bubble fucks him up.
That's right. He ate his gum.
He would swallow his gum every time.
Oh, that didn't even make the list. I forgot about that one.
Well, that's why it fucks him up.
Well,
Wait a second. He would swallow
Every
his
piece
gum?
of gum he's ever had, he swallowed.
He eats all his gum.
That can't be healthy.
But that's not
Well,
even.
that's why he says it fucks him up.
But that's not what
why.
Jessica's saying.
That's not why. The double bubble has so much sugar that it fucks him up. And it gives him a headache, and he can't eat double bubble. He revealed that on Mystery Crate last year during our candy draft.
Maybe if he didn't eat it, to Mike's point.
It's why it fucks him up.
I think they're separate revelations, though. I screwed up. That should have been number 5. That he swallows all his gum.
That is a ton of sugar, though, is it not? Double bubble is a specific burst of fireworks of sugar.
It's awesome.
More than most gum.
I'm about to throw up.
What is the best gum?
None of them. They're all terrible.
What?
I hate
What do you mean
gum.
by that?
Bazooka.
I hate
No.
gum.
Bazooka is my favorite gum.
No, Bubblicious. Or what's the one with the juice in the inside? When you take a bite, it like
The fruit.
Gushers.
Gushers. There you go.
No, that's not gum.
I think that is Bubblicious.
There's one
is
that's
it
a
not?
gum that
There
has-
is something that has like a jelly in it. Yes, it's just a burst of extra syrupy sugar.
Yeah.
How about Big League Chew?
Big
I
League
love
Chew's
that.
good.
Nasty.
But for
Little
30
bag of
seconds.
Big League
After
Chew.
30 seconds.
Everyone's
gone.
grandma
30
likes Big
seconds.
Red, right?
Yeah.
Big
My grandma used to eat
Red's good.
cinnamon gum, and it would
Yeah.
burn the shit out of
So,
my tongue,
when
and I
we
would still eat it.
When we traded for Shaq, the first game, he beckons me over. Shaq has this weird thing where he doesn't want to talk sometimes.
Big Aristotle.
So he just literally beckons me over with one finger. And I say, yeah, big fella, what do you need? And he goes, he points to his mouth and he goes, and I'm like, you want gum? I'm like, and he nods. I'm like, okay, so I go get the gum basket or whatever. He looks at it, he's like, what is this bullshit? I said, what? I need Big Red. I'm like, well, I didn't know. I've got this Orbit cinnamon one. So he's like, no, I need Big Red. So I had to leave. We had a game. I left. I went to a gas station to go buy some Big Red, right? I come back.
Coming up today on the Alley Oop on DLS Hoops page on YouTube. Bro, we talking Skylar Diggins and milk bags. Trust me, it ain't what it sounds like, but it is exactly what it sounds like. Also, Alyssa Thomas, if we get this performance in the NBA, are we having Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith call her, dare I say, a fraud? I'm not saying it. I would say that. But I'm saying, WNBA players, we want the respect, so we got to accept the criticism. You feel me? So yeah, today on DLS Hoops, Alley Hoop, me and my sister Trista Crick, we discussing it all, baby. Also, our talented producer, Miss Rebecca, she is A1 top of the pops today. Don't miss it. Check us out.
There's not a scale that can quantify my hate for Pittsburgh and their college.
Can you say anything nice about Pitt or no?
You nicely suck. You. Pitt. God bless America. God bless you. USA, baby. Yeah.
We are about to use the bleep button more than we ever have in Le Batard Show history. Hello, Dan. It's me, Lucy. And you know this because of the expense report. You have sent me to many college football games over the last few years, and I will tell you, no one tailgates quite like West Virginia. This might be the best tailgating we've ever seen. I am not being dramatic. It's up there with LSU. They do it right in front of the hospital, so it's easy access because that's how hard they go here at West Virginia. And let me tell you something, Dan, what I've learned today, they really hate Pitt. A lot. A lot. How much do you hate Pitt?
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's 1,000, bro. We don't mess with Pitt around here. Kenny Pickett's a bum. We are WVU, baby. Come on. They're in a gut. Pittsburgh.
They're the elbow of Pennsylvania.
The elbow of Pennsylvania?
They're the very bottom corner of Pennsylvania. Yeah. They're not even Philadelphia.
They need to eat Pitt.
Eat
Pitt. What have people been saying to you?
Eat Pitt.
You guys worried about the offense?
Not at all. If they perform as well as we think they will, we'll blow their asses out of the stadium.
We're going to send Pittsburgh straight back to Philadelphia, those Pennsylvanian. We could go 2-12 as long as we beat Pitt. That's all that matters.
If they put you on the field, what position would you play?
Running back.
I'd be tight end.
She'd be a linebacker.
We were just given a West Virginia delicacy, the pepperoni roll. Can you explain to me what this is?
Basically yeast bread with pepperoni and cheese inside, but the original reason for them is the coal miners' wives will bake them in the morning, wrap them up, and put them in their pocket. That was the lunch.
That's delicious. That's like a reverse pizza almost, but it's really good. I will say, West Virginia so far has had the most unique food out of everywhere we've gone, tied with Baton Rouge. How would you guys describe the backyard brawl to people who aren't familiar with this rivalry?
The best experience that you will ever have in your whole entire life. Immaculate.
When Anakin became Darth Vader, it's basically that battle, but worse.
Who are you in this situation?
The lava.
Those who can read versus those who can't.
What's the worst part of Pitt?
Their colors.
They're kind of like your colors, though, a little bit.
But the royal blue.
We had this argument in our class. They are yellow, and we are old gold. Very, very distinction.
What class was this?
Med school class, actually.
How do we feel about the return of Rich Rod?
It's insane. We're good.
You're good?
We're good.
Yeah, no, last week was good.
If you watched last week, you got a couple questions. 100 yards of offense at halftime is not going to cut it. The Mountaineer was really nice.
He was mean to me when I met him yesterday. What is going on with your shirt hair? What is this West Virginia tradition?
Well, hopefully, if we win, we'll burn a couch. And if we don't win, we'll still burn a couch.
Is it illegal?
Maybe a little.
You want to do a fit check for me right now?
Yes. You're an inspiration, you know?
For the fits, fashion was nothing before me. Are you a fan of the show?
Absolutely, yeah. I spotted you as I was walking down there. I was like, holy there's Lucy. Look at that.
Do you want to say anything to the show?
Huh? Oh, Dan, guys, I love you. Mike Ryan, keep covering NASCAR, too. Big fan of that.
I want to tell you that you have been the best fan we've met all day.
No way.
So we want to award you the Hampton Farms Nuttiest fan.
Y'all see what we got? I'm the nuttiest fan. None of y'all is nutty as me. Thank you so much, Hampton's Farms.
Today's trip was brought to you by Hampton Farms. Get nutty with Hampton Farms, the official snack nut of the tailgate. Almost heaven, West Virginia to you by the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app and use code Lucy for $20 off your first order. Terms apply. Dan, and there's just one thing left to say. Eat Pitt. Eat.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Does anyone tailgate like West Virginia? She said Baton Rouge had an unusual food. I think Baton Rouge sometimes does alligator during the tailgate. Billy, you're fascinated by the way that Joey Chestnut is eating nuggets these days, correct?
I'm fascinated he's not dead, if I'm going to be honest with you, with the way that he eats. So he was challenged recently to eat 99 nuggets in 9 innings at a baseball game. Would anyone care to guess how many nuggets he was able to down in a 9-inning baseball game?
9-inning game, we're talking about they want him to eat 11 an inning?
Yeah.
150.
I mean, he could definitely do that.
He ate 150, I'll say.
How big were the nuggets?
That's nugget size.
I would say 4.
4 nuggets. Okay. Lucy, any guesses?
Is the total on the screen right now? Because I can see it. Then I'm going to guess 275.
275. Great work, everyone.
275 nuggets. What are your thoughts there, Billy? Are you tired of Joey Chestnut? Or will you never tire of Joey Chestnut?
I'll miss him when he's gone.
Whoa! I feel like, is it crazy to think? I'm going to say this on the front end. I think I could do it, but I probably couldn't. 99 nuggets in 9 innings doesn't seem crazy.
It doesn't.
This guy's such this guy is...
If I'm breaking that down, that's like 5 or 6
it's
per
11
half
an
inning.
It's 11
so
an inning.
5.5 per half. So 5.5 per half inning.
You know they don't go away, though, unless you're going to the bathroom like every half inning. They're still accumulating inside of you.
Yeah. No, I got you.
That's going to get hard at the end, yes. Lucy, why is West Virginia and Baton Rouge, why are they equal when it comes to weird tailgating?
Those people are crazy. And I mean it in the nicest way possible. They're literally insane. That was a tailgate that we actually saw very little of because it was so insane that we were like swarmed by people everywhere we went who just wanted to talk about how much they hated Pitt. What I like about both LSU and West Virginia is there's so many parts of like the campus and like the food they serve that is so unique to their region where like obviously when you go to LSU, you get a lot of like Cajun food and it's really, really good. But when we were in West Virginia, we got a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, this fish, we went and caught it like in the lake a few days ago. Okay, here's these pepperoni rolls. Like it's a very unique to its location type of deal. And it was so much fun. And they are literally batshit crazy. They are the most insane people I've ever met in my life.
Dan, you know about that backyard brawl?
Yes.
Oh, all right, I was asking.
That's it? That was the only question that you had? It's not even for Lucy. It's just for me?
Lucy clearly knows. She was there.
Yes.
Look, fine, I'll ask her. I don't want to leave her out. Lucy, you know about that backyard brawl?
I do know about the backyard brawl, yes.
All right, there you
go. What else was interesting or fun from your travels, and where are you headed this week?
We're off this week. Guess who deserved a little break? Me. So see you guys in 2 weeks. What I loved about West Virginia that I think that most people didn't know is they have a cute little like train system that takes you around Morgantown. It's these little tiny like train cars called the PRT. It's really cool.
How did you feel about Clemson losing to Georgia Tech, the Dabo experience?
They might stink.
It's about over, yes?
Their offense is really bad. I was looking up some stats this morning. They're pretty comparable to Iowa. Like, they're pretty much the same football team right now, which is not something you want to be. Yeah, I think they're not a good football team at all. There are some concerns with the defense, although I think for the most part it's fine. But, like, offensively, Klubnik has not been good. They have no run game. It is just, like, it's a pretty bad football team, and it's the ACC, so like there's full possibility they could do exactly what they did last year and just win in a pretty easy conference and then make it to the playoff and stink their way in through the conference championship game. But right now Clemson is not a good football team. But if I have any takeaway from that game, it's that Hanks King is probably the coolest person alive. I'm obsessed with him. I want them to take care of him because he might die if he keeps playing like this, but he is awesome.
Lucy, what did you make of Brian Kelly and his exchange with the reporter after the Florida game asking about the offense?
He apologized.
Which I should note, he opened his press conference yesterday by apologizing privately and publicly to the gentleman. But what did you make of that whole exchange?
I kind of thought it was a nothing burger. Like, that's not the first time a coach has snapped on a reporter. It certainly won't be the last time. Like, Brian Kelly is notoriously maybe not the coolest guy in the world, so like I don't know why everyone made a big deal out of it. I get his sort of logic of like, that's the first question after a game, we won, why don't you talk about how, you know, DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions, how good our defense is, blah blah blah. But for the most part, I whatever. Brian Kelly, not a nice guy. Whoa, who would have thought? I'm so surprised.
Oh, no, you don't have to be surprised, and you don't have to make it a nothing burger, and you don't have to predict that it'll happen again, because it will, but I'll play it again even though he's apologized, because it's always great when one of these guys goes full arrogance on reporters.
What are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
Look at Lucy smiling. She's seen it 100 times. She called it a nothing burger. She dismissed it, and yet she's enraptured as she watches Brian Kelly do. Any coach does that. It's not because we like or dislike Brian Kelly. Any coach does that, we're going to play it.
I just love cranky old men.
Texas A&M beats Notre Dame. Is that because Texas A&M is really good, or is it that Notre Dame is not that good? Because Texas A&M didn't even play that well.
I think Texas A&M is good. That's what I took away from this. Notre Dame has issues. Obviously, when you lose, because of a special teams issue, that's something that's concerning. I think their defense is not as good as it has been in previous years. I think you're very clearly seeing the change in coordinator there. They're still a good team. I know they're 0-2, but Miami, Texas A&M, that's really not a bad spot to be in right now. For Texas A&M on the other side, I think what the big question was this season was can you open up your offense? Can you get the passing game in there? And they went and they were really proactive in the portal with getting receivers, and you can tell. I think that's a really good football team. I think it is a team that is dynamic. And right now, if you look at the SEC, Texas looked really bad this weekend. Georgia's probably the team to beat right now, but you're still kind of questions about Alabama after that Florida State loss. LSU, I'm not going to say their offense is bad. I don't want to get in trouble for saying that. I don't want to bring that up. I'm afraid I might upset somebody. But the SEC is open right now, and I think Texas A&M is actually in a really good spot.
Lucy, I want to ask you about Notre Dame. I do understand that it's rankings and not standings, so it's subjective there. But you do have to win some of these games. They played two good teams. They lost them both. They're still ranked.
It's funny that she said Notre Dame's in a good spot. They've lost both the times they played. So the schedule doesn't matter at all. They've just lost both their games. They played two games. You can't lose more than they've lost.
Okay, let's watch the tone, Dan. I'm going to explain myself. Notre Dame is Notre Dame. It doesn't matter what happens throughout the entire season. The second that playoff expanded to 12 teams, Notre Dame basically had an automatic bid. If Notre Dame wins out, and their schedule is not difficult. Their schedule is not difficult at all. If they win out, not impossible. They are a pretty decent football team. They have things to work out. USC is now ranked. That can give them a ranked win. I don't know how a 10-2 Notre Dame team doesn't get in, especially when we're talking about the College Football Playoff Committee and what is their favorite thing in the world? Quality losses. And Notre Dame has two of them.
So, two-part question. Are you serious? You think Notre Dame still has a likelihood
asinine
of making the playoffs?
Asinine.
Absolutely. It's Notre Dame.
There has not been a bigger rigged election in the last 10 years than getting Notre Dame into the college football
No, I
playoffs.
agree. I'm not saying it's cool. I'm not pro Notre Dame getting into the playoff, but that is how this system was built. It helps Notre Dame.
Right. Yeah, because they get the ratings.
And I want Jess to be happy more than anything else in the world.
Okay, part two. College game day is coming to
What was that
Miami.
laugh?
Do you agree or disagree with the strong consensus that Miami is going to absolutely crush
Oh, they're
the
going to kill
Gators?
him. They're going to kill him, Greg.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions last week. That's deeply unpleasant football team with Florida, and I think they're so undisciplined, and I think Miami's insanely talented. I think they're a very, very good team, and what I've been so impressed with through the season so far with Miami is, like, you can see that defensive coordinator hire, Heatherman, has been amazing. It has completely turned their defense around. I don't know how Florida, with how undisciplined they are, with how erratic DJ Lagway is playing, with all the sort of noise outside of that program. Are you going to fire your coach? Are you not going to fire your coach? To do all that, then go and play a very good Miami team, I just don't see Florida competing or winning in that game at all.
What are the 3 most talented teams you've seen this year where you're just watching and it's jumping off the screen? Because even though this makes me homerific, I haven't seen a lot of teams better than Miami.
You have to say Miami.
When I'm just looking at the athleticism all over the field and the fact that they have balance. Their offense is obviously going to be good all year. Their quarterback's going to be good if he's healthy. They're going to protect their quarterback, and their defense is now disciplined. They're not giving up 50-yard plays. They're not getting a ton of penalties.
I would have to say I would put Miami on that list, especially because Carson Beck has been this, better, newer version of Carson Beck, not what we saw last year with sort of his problems at Georgia. I would go Miami, Ohio State, ridiculously talented. We could just put them as a lock on this list for the rest of time. And I'm going to put Oregon on that list. They've looked very good throughout the season. Dante Moore has been a really good fit there. And I would say Oregon's probably also a lock on this list for the rest of time.
You say that, and yet Oregon, I will never trust them. Like, they will have to win the championship undefeated, and it will still go another season before I believed it happened, because I believe that what happened to them last year will happen to them every single time they run into one of these buzzsaws like Ohio State.
Well, in 2 weeks, they played Penn State, and that's where we'll sort of figure things out. Because Penn State, they haven't really played anybody throughout the season so far, and they haven't.
Don't trust them either.
Pause up.
No, I don't trust them either. They are not looking as, dominant as their fans have wanted them to throughout these first few weeks. So Oregon, Penn State, I believe it's a whiteout game. That will be like the big sort of, I think, big litmus test for college football 2 weeks. I'm very excited.
Dan, how are the Canes only a 7.5-point favorite this weekend? That's not free money?
Oh, that'll go to double figures.
How are they only I don't want to do transitive theory, but the team that just beat UF, Miami beat by 37.
I agree. I was struck by that odds. It's nuts.
Because Florida has a solid defense, and Miami has shown over the years that they can play close with anyone.
It's the Mario Cristobal effect.
Lucy, good seeing you. Enjoy the week off after working 2 straight weeks after not covering college football the previous 5 months before that. Appreciate you taking this time off to rest yourself.
Dan.
Yes, you need
eat
a bye
shit
week.
pit.
You need a
eat
bye
shit
week.
pit.
Yes.
It was 3 weeks in fairness.
We flew her to West Virginia just to get a bunch of West Virginia people cursing.
Lucy, you know about that border war?
Eat shit pit. Eat shit pit.
Thank you, Lucy. Good seeing you again. So last night, you guys, can you guys tell me here how it is that you're feeling about Tom Brady is getting paid $375 million to broadcast games. It's more than he made in his playing career. He is now allowed in the production meetings and owns a team, so that there are all sorts of conflicts there. And then last night, he's wearing a headset. The Raiders clearly not helped in any way by whatever it is that he's giving them in the headset, because Geno Smith has rarely had that bad of a game, and offensively they couldn't do much of anything. What do you guys make of Tom Brady, who is, we can say the seminal figure in the sport this century? If you have to pick one,
yes,
it's Brady. So now he's got all access to everything that he wants. He can go anywhere. He's got ownership. He's in these production meetings when no one who's got ownership is allowed to be in this production meeting because he belongs. Like, can you imagine him being in a Chiefs production meeting where he's the Raiders owner? He's a partial owner of the Raiders, and now he's wearing a headset during games. What do you make of all of this?
What a bad look for the NFL. They're allowing this guy to be both a quote-unquote journalist and an executive of a team that's playing other teams in the league. It's ridiculous. The only good thing they've done is he can't, in person, attend these production meetings. He has to do it by Zoom, supposedly, but he's still there to get whatever inside information is disseminated. It's just a bad look. They shouldn't do that.
I originally didn't have like last year. I didn't have an issue with this. I thought it was a little bit overblown, but it does seem weird to me now. He's super involved with the Raiders. He talks to Chip Kelly several times a week. And I think Field Yates put it out on Twitter yesterday and made the point how, this coming weekend, Fox, he has the Bears, and the very next week, the Raiders are playing the Bears. I think just the solution is the coaches in these production meetings, hey, don't tell them anything. You don't have to. And then it becomes Fox's problem where it's like, hey, this is your guy. They don't have to answer his questions. Maybe you need to rethink Tom Brady's your broadcaster, because if I'm the coach, I'm not telling you.
Rethink the broadcaster? He's not a journalist. He's a color commentary person, and he is, by leaps and bounds, being paid more to do that job by what? Double, triple, quadruple? More than anyone's been paid to do any kind of job broadcasting sports. He's making how much more than the previous highest paid person?
Right. But he's just being paid for his name. They really don't care how good he is as a broadcaster, right? He's just being paid to be Tom Brady.
I mean, the optics of it was really bad yesterday, but it was also a unique circumstance, right? Because he normally has games on Sundays when the Raiders play. So he's not normally in the booth with the headset on. They're going to run into that again in a couple weeks when they play on Thursday night against the Broncos. But we'll see if maybe they say, hey, you know what? Don't sit up there with the headphones. But he is doing it.
Who would tell him that?
I mean, maybe the league would tell the Raiders, let's not have that situation happen again. But I don't think anyone really considered how much he was talking to Chip Kelly during the week. That was kind of the revelation yesterday. You saw it on the video. Look, there he is. He's in the headset during the game, which, again, he can't do on Sundays because he's with Fox calling the games. But the communication that he's having throughout the weeks, I think, was surprising for a lot of people.
If I'm Sean Payton, I'm not only not telling him, I'm telling him the exact opposite of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to sit Bo Nix this weekend.
That's what I mean by let it become Fox's problem.
Yes.
Or hey, this is the issue now. Coaches are giving you nothing in these pre-production meetings.
I want to share a hot take with the class that I have, and I wrote it down here. Pablo will topple Tom Brady's ownership stake in the Raiders in the next 3 years. Wow. I'm gonna have that take. So in the next 3 years, Pablo will topple Tom Brady's ownership stake in the Raiders.
I could see it happening. And
Pablo doing it?
Yes, or somebody doing it. If I were the other three AFC West teams, I would be lobbying the other owners to go to the commissioner and say, this is patently ridiculous. It's a bad look for the league. We can't have an owner of a team also being in the booth. It's just you need that separation of church and state.
Can I just ask some devil's advocate questions? Because, we're doing a bit of pretend journalism here, right? The main voices on football that get these great broadcasting jobs tend to be former Cowboys. All of them tend to be former Cowboys. Tony Romo, Jason Witten got one of them, Troy Aikman.
Dale Johnston.
I mean, going back to, Dandy Don Gifford, they always get the jobs, and so they're biased on behalf of the Cowboys,
right.
Correct?
Yeah, Michael Irvin.
So, but all those people, the broadcasters and the broadcasting in professional football has a very clear and obvious bias with those people supporting the Dallas Cowboys. You say it's a bad look, but what is the real harm in having Tom Brady and people talking about Tom Brady all the time? What is the actual real harm? These production meetings are fairly useless. There isn't any information gleaned by the announcers that's actually going to give a calculated, appreciable advantage to a team in a way that actually decides a game.
As if they're showing him the first 15 plays or something.
Well, yeah, they're stupid enough to do that.
Right, they would never do that, to Dan's point.
But also, if you know how teams feel about individual players, that can also give you insight into who might be able to be let go as a free agent, right, in the upcoming years. If you're part of an ownership stake, that becomes a calculation here. And if you're Fox and now coaches aren't sharing with Tom Brady, he can go from his experience, when I've seen that defense, I've done whatever. But if he doesn't have the knowledge about the offense or the defense of the other team and their tendencies, he's not watching film all week long to figure those things out. That's what you glean as an announcer.
Okay, the thing, though, that I want to talk to everyone here around, because this has been a plague the last few years when people want to criticize something. Something's a bad look. There's not anything after that. It's just something doesn't look the way I'd like it to look. And I don't particularly care how things look. I care how they are. I know that a lot of people say perception is reality, but it's not. Reality is reality. So I'm asking you guys, what's the real harm of Tom Brady wearing a headset in a game that wasn't interesting last night? And we're talking about Tom Brady wearing a headset. Like, who cares? He owns the Raiders, and he's wearing a headset, and clearly the Raiders learned nothing from whatever he was doing. They gained exactly. I understand you got Deflategate around him. You've got things in the margins on how they've won that look like cheating over the last 20 years. But clearly, whatever he was doing last night didn't help the Raiders at all.
Helped against the Patriots the week before.
That team sucks. I think the only issue is for Fox. I think that's really the only issue, is that they're not getting the information for their broadcast that they would if someone else were on the game.
That's true.
Fox is doing something very smart right now. They got Barstool. They got Clay Travis. They don't care about how things
maybe they don't
look.
care. That's right.
They don't care about how things look. What does Fox care about how things look? I know Jeremy's making a bad face. Don't say it's not a smart thing, Jeremy. You don't have to like the thing. They're zigging while everyone else is zagging. And I saw ESPN did this with Bussin' and the boys too. Everyone's going toward where are the customers. Let's not make this about journalism. Let's not make it about.
But the FS1 numbers came out, and the morning show has not done well compared to what was on previously. If you're going to be fair about the situation, you're saying that they're just getting the audience. The early numbers indicated that wasn't the case.
It's early, and it's always going to take time to do those things. What they're trying to do, look, I don't have to like it. I don't have to agree with it. It's just the movement of this country. Do you want young men or not? You got to go to them. Like, that's what people are doing. It's not what we're doing. It's not what I do, but it's not what Fox has done with sports before. What Fox has tried to do with sports is just copycat ESPN, and it's not what they're doing anymore. And I told you guys before that before we left ESPN, they told me that was going to happen, that all of their surveying indicated that they needed to find a place to find young people. And so, I don't expect early on for anything to move numbers, but they're trying to do something over there a different way. And your objection is what? Your objection is what, Jeremy, with your sour face?
Well, I have several objections to the content. But
Just your face.
The bigger one is that not also just copycatting ESPN? Like, didn't they also get rid of like every progressive voice to go as deep into this space as well? Like, hey, let's stop talking about politics. Let's just get into that realm. Aren't we as a company a result of that? Like, this has been happening across all networks across the last, I don't know, since 2015 when something happened.
I think the NFL has sold its soul for Tom Brady. I think if this were an ex-player who people had barely heard of, who was never anywhere near a star, and he was a partial owner of a team, there's no way they would let him have
like Messi treatment. Like, they're kind of just like every rule just kind of gets bent to
100%.
make sure that he's fine.
Yes.
Yet the NFL still having a soul, huh? It was sold for Tom Brady.
What's left of it?
I would argue this soul has been sold long ago. Would you not?
What do you think was the tipping point?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out right now.
This is crossing a line that hasn't been crossed before.
Huh.
But it's a line no one really cares about.
I feel like there's more lines to be
Somebody's
crossed.
got to care about it.
Is it a line if no one cares about it?
Well, if a tree falls in the forest. Am I
well
right?
said.
I don't know if that.
Hell yeah.
What happens next?
You know, if you don't hear it, did it really fall?
Mm-hmm.
If nobody gives a shit, is this really an issue? For me, it is. Nobody else cares.
Is
That's
it?
fine. Yeah. I don't want a part owner of it. Especially, can you imagine a part owner of let's say the New England Patriots, let's say Brady had left the New England Patriots on good terms, and now he's a part owner of the New England Patriots. You don't think the other AFC East teams care that he's in production meetings and wearing a headset during game? It's a bad look. And people might not care about the optics. They should.
It's like letting Brady sit at a press conference for the coach earlier in the week. Like, he's just saying, like, oh, we're going to work hard. Oh, yeah, that's a good team over there. Like, what? Like, nothing is really being shared in these meetings.
It only hurts Fox because the other teams in that production meeting are not giving information because Brady is one of the ears listening. For example, if he weren't in that meeting, you might hear another team say, their offense is Brock Bowers. That's it. If we stop Brock Bowers, you stop the Raiders. They're not going to say that if Tom Brady's listening.
Let me ask you, Greg, a question, just a hypothetical here. Let's say, I don't know, something were to happen and the Preakness is coming up, and they're looking around. Someone backs out of it. Randy Moss or whoever does the broadcast backs out of the Preakness, and they say, we need a voice in horse racing. You know what? Greg Cote.
Yeah.
We think Greg Cote would do a great job at the Preakness. Would you take it?
Thank you. Oh, hell yeah.
But you own Calmly, and you're part of that syndicate. So now there's kind of a conflict. Would you not agree?
I would agree. Calmly is being sold. So
What?
Pretty soon I
Say
won't.
it ain't so.
Yeah, Calmly is being sold, but I have another horse now named Isla Grande who's about to meet with Bill Mott, the famed trainer.
Not Bill Mott.
Yeah, the famed trainer in Ocala.
Stop talking.
You mentioned Hertz Fox, and you guys are just wrong. They've got football. It doesn't matter. Bad looks. Like, what are you talking about? It does all the stuff. Hertz Fox, nothing. Like, they could go on Fox right now, and if they've got the game, they could just have Lucy yelling, "Eat shit pit" all game, and they've still got the game.
No, when I say Hertz Fox, what I mean is, okay, you have one, in theory, if you have one broadcast that has great information and another broadcast that has less information, the former is the better broadcast, but it doesn't matter.
The former is the better broadcast, and the second one has the greatest quarterback of all time.
And that's all that matters.
Have you guys heard him doing these broadcasts? Like, it doesn't sound like he's just kind of talking.
Yeah, he's already not that good at the job.
He's
like,
no good.
If he's not going to have information, it does make their broadcast worse. But
it doesn't matter.
We're just having a conversation about standards. If no standards matter about anything, then what are we talking about? Like, we should have standards for things.
Wasn't Bill Mott Sovereignty's trainer?
Yes, he's a Triple Crown winning trainer. Thank you, Billy.
Stop talking.
Let's play the useless sound montage. We forgot about it week 1 because that's how we do things around here. Here's the useless sound montage. Does it include week 1, Chris, or did we throw it all together? Nope, it's just week 2. This is all week 2. What do we have?
All right, let's go. You're on 10% battery. Happens to me all the time.
My dogs got bit by snakes. That was a big vet bill. Shout out to wherever we went.
Ultimately, I look at absolutely everything falling on me.
I'll take full responsibility for that game.
Man, it's a kick in the teeth. Digesting what transpired in the stadium today, and we got to be better.
Every game's different, Paul.
I'd rather be on the aggressive side of history than the non-aggressive side. So
Aubrey had a long kick. Had a long leg.
Play sticky on the back end, and we do a lot in the front.
You know, when you call good plays, he executes them. When I call shitty plays, he still executes them.
You know, you're always thinking in your head, can we score a touchdown on this drive? Dude, what are we doing?
Mom, I love you.
What that really feels like is a real missed opportunity.
He got his clavicle. He broke his clavicle, so it's unfortunate. It's a big loss. I thought Darius Williams came in and made what a clutch breakup that he had on the third down to get us off the grass.
I'm going to enjoy this one. Midnight rule. I've told you guys this one, right? Midnight. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have a couple shotties tonight. And at midnight, I'm going to go to bed and wake up, and we're on to Chicago.
I thought my guys played their tail off and played hard and aggressive football. You can audible any play at any down. That's what I wish we would have done. I wish we would have not taken those shots.
I'd need to do a better job supervising all of the orchestration within our multiple personnel groups.
We absorbed some attrition and probably limited our communication and thus our call sheet.
I got to go back and I got to look at it from behind. It's hard for me to tell with just the still pictures.
They know how to get in the ditch and just start digging, man. They don't worry about the other stuff. So,
You know, I think they play Kansas City later this afternoon, so it'd be fun to be able to watch it as long as the damn Wi-Fi on the plane works.
These guys are confident, and they should be confident. We're a good football team. Now, I think we did some stupid shit tonight, you know? I really do.
Is this starting to get a little frustrating? You're getting...
No, it's week 2. Come on now. Come on. It's week 2.
Had the official right next to me throughout that process. He told me it was halftime, so we went in for halftime.
Why do you think you're so successful on the deep balls today?
Good throws, good catches.
I've said this all along, man. This train keeps rolling, man. And we got plenty here, and it always is going to start with the players. We got players, we got playmakers, and they're made the right way. They're the right kind of guys, man.
I just take what the defense is giving us, you know, and I'll go back and look on tape.
Just don't think that I'm going to throw it 80 yards.
I'm not supporting some of the choices there. I need to see what happened, though.
I love that kid, man. He just loves to play football. He loves to push people.
Those are our standards, and I knew we would play better, you know, because our guys came into work, and we knew we needed to clean up, and we worked at cleaning it up, and they had the right look, and they came out fighting.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.
What stood out to you guys in there? Because to me, what leapt out, and I understand that this is a violent game, but the way whoever that was segued from that guy's got a broken clavicle to, and also what a great pass breakup. Just there's somebody, a broken clavicle seems horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know.
Opposite of turf toe.
I didn't even know those.
That sounds
I
terrible.
didn't know those broke. I didn't know clavicles broke.
Greg Cote broke his clavicle when he was a kid.
I did, yeah.
Is that
And
so?
a little red wagon. My brother took a corner too fast. But I was actually taking notes during that, and I wrote down clavicle sounds like a musical instrument.
At Le Batard Show on the poll, does clavicle sound like a musical instrument? And did you know you could break your clavicle? Because I thought you could bruise it. I thought perhaps you could crack it. I didn't think breaking the clavicle was one of the options.
Was it a radio flyer, Greg?
I think it was, actually.
You and Uncle Dick running around?
Mm-hmm. This is when we still lived in Miami.
1440?
No. Right after we moved from Lawrence, Massachusetts, we stayed with Uncle Buddy in South Miami for a few weeks.
Hold on
I never knew that.
Wait, hold on a
Really?
second. This is the first we're hearing this. So you moved from Lawrence, Mass. Down you lived with Uncle Buddy before you guys went to 1440?
Yep. For a few weeks.
Weeks, just weeks.
It might have been a couple of months because we were buying a house and getting situated and all that stuff. And the memory from there is that my mother took a walk from the house in South Miami, and there was a river right nearby, and she looks down in the river over a little footbridge.
What the hell is going on?
And she sees dozens of dead cats.
Dead cats?
And that was an early memory of the Uncle Buddy weeks.
What happened to them?
I have no idea. I didn't kill them. But Uncle Buddy,
We didn't think you did.
Back then, he
Incriminating.
was a Pabst Blue Ribbon guy,
Was he?
and Uncle Buddy.
He'd be a Miller man now for sure.
Well, he would show up at the house with a six-pack because
Miller.
back then you could drink and drive. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That
you could
can't
drink
be
and
true.
drive.
Yeah,
Back,
it's true.
it was like probably the mid-'60s by that point, maybe early '60s.
Let me look this up.
And he would show up at the house with a six-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
What's Uncle Buddy up to
And
now?
Miller.
He's been dead for years.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
When did DUI become a thing? Because I don't think that back then you could just drink and drive.
Doesn't
But
seem
maybe
right.
I
Dan,
have
I
that
think
wrong.
he's right. I think he's right. Like,
It
do you
first
guys-
became a law in 1906 in New Jersey and 1910 in New York.
What
Well,
we're talking
about
Florida,
Florida
here, though. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, get with it.
Wake
Jeff.
up, buddy.
Sunshine
Wake
State.
up.
It's not the Sunshine
How about
State
that
for nothing.
integrity you were talking
Free
about?
state
We're
of
not talking
Florida.
about New York.
Just giving you information.
Standards that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Zaslow was beaming the entire segment toward the end there, just staring at you, and I think I know why. It's because he realized that you love nothing more than answering questions about yourself.
Loves talking about himself.
We didn't even find out what happened to Calmly.
It was 1917.
That's true.